into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, well, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning Expresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Good morning! Woo. Welcome to it.
Yeah.
Are you awake? I hope so. No, don't. Just chill. Chill. You can stay in bed for the next, half an hour at least.
We got you.
We got you covered. Very good morning. My name is Graham Richards.
And I'm Ryle Demone. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful, beautiful start to nothing but a Tuesday. And we're choosing to spend it with you beautiful souls, Ms. Nancy.
And do you get a more beautiful soul than that of a mother? This morning we are indulging in gifting ideas for Mother's Day. It's just around the corner, lest we forget. So you have absolutely no excuse as to why you have no idea what to get your mama, from self-care treatments at home to spoiling her with ingredients for the kitchen to pairing great coffee with delicious biscuits and chocolate. We got you covered.
Are you ready for Mother's Day? Have you got a gift already, G?
I actually haven't.
Oh, yeah.
I will after this morning.
Well, best you pay attention, and best you pay attention as well, Mzansi. Everything you need when it comes to Mother's Day. I think G and I definitely need to add something to the list, so we will be doing so, and I hope you are too. But let's find out what's happening with the rest of the gang and say good morning.
Good morning. We are the rest of the gang. I'm Zoe Brown.
I'm Carl Wasty. It's so nice to have you here this morning. And it's, you know, what we have to chat about is sign language. I think sign language is a beautiful language. It's something that I really wanted to learn at school. And the question today is all about whether you think that sign language should be taught at school. And also, more importantly, why so? You can jump onto the social media channels. Do you know any sign language moves?
I don't, unfortunately, and I wish I did. I just know that this is I love you.
Aww. And this is
around?
I love you too. So we're getting there. So and also this is welcome and thank you.
Oh, well, there we go. Thank you for teaching me something new.
I got your back. That's
Thank you.
So we're going to learn all about, of course, sign language a little later. Plus, we've got some fantastic performers on the show for you as well. There's a guy named Miguel Pregueiro. You have to say it like that, otherwise you're not going to be able to. Yes, say it again.
Miguel Pregueiro.
Pregueiro. Yes,
Pregueiro.
that's it. He's going to be chatting to you. There we go. So that's a sign of a fantastic show coming up right here on Expresso. But for now, we have news coming up, and we have one person to do it. He'll look at you with a smolder and give you the latest.
It's the national news first. Let's start here in South Africa. The Gauteng Health Department yesterday raised the alarm over notable increases in the number of new COVID-19 cases in the province. Department spokesperson Kwara Kekana said new cases had increased across the province, particularly in the Sedibeng district compared to the week before. Meanwhile, a person who recently traveled from India has tested positive for COVID-19 in a KZN hospital, but which variant he is infected with hasn't been as yet determined. The patient is currently in isolation as a result. Then State Security Minister Ayanda Dlodlo says the Western Cape is geared to continue with the COVID-19 vaccination program for both healthcare workers and the general population when the country starts its second phase of vaccinations later this month. Dlodlo visited vaccination sites at the Khayelitsha and Groote Schuur hospitals in Cape Town. She said the pandemic should not be used as an excuse to postpone the local government elections, and added that many countries have held elections during the pandemic without it leading to a new wave of infections. On the international front, farmers and civil society groups in Uganda are opposing the agreement between oil giant Total, the China National Offshore Oil Corporation, and the governments of Tanzania and Uganda to greenlight oil production in the Lake Albert region of western Uganda. They say it threatens the wetlands and forests that support lives and livelihoods in Albertine, central and southern Uganda, as well as the well-being of Lake Albert itself. They want environmental and climate impacts evaluated before the project proceeds. A little further afield, the European Union Commission has recommended easing restrictions on non-essential travel from abroad. Anyone who has received the last dose of an EU-approved vaccine at least 2 weeks beforehand will be permitted to travel. The EU currently only allows non-essential travel from 7 countries, but the proposals will also contain an emergency brake, allowing member states to limit travel quickly in response to new variants or a deteriorating deteriorating health situation in those non-EU countries. This would be reviewed every fortnight. Discussions on the matter will begin later today. And next, 5 mothers who took on a tremendous task. As a mother, Bloemfontein-born Kumo Tapfumanyani noticed the scarcity of children's books that celebrated Black Pride. After engaging with 5 other moms, she found that in mainstream bookstores, there weren't many books in their own languages. So the 5 decided to take children's literature into their own hands and affirm children through diverse reading material. The online bookstore EthniKids was the result. And the founders wished to gain access to stories that represent experiences which are relatable to Black youth. And they uncovered that a great deal of African literature was inaccessible as local authors were self-publishing and independently selling their work. What began as a side hustle by collecting these books and shipping them to subscribers morphed into an ambitious business venture. Today, EthniKids hosts a collection of children's literature written by local and international authors in South Africa's 11 official languages. Kumo says exposing children to books written in their mother tongue not only improves their engagement in reading and education, but builds their self-esteem. She adds, and we quote, "Reading is so liberating. It has the power to manifest self-assured adults, leaders, and game changers." Hear to that. On that positive note is where we leave our news headlines. Let's catch up on the sport. Let's start with tennis. South African tennis sensation Lloyd Harris has advanced to the second round of the Madrid Open. That was after seeing off Bulgaria's Grigor Dimitrov in 3 sets. The world number 54 beat the 13th seed 6-3, 3-6, 7-6. That means Harris will now face 22-year-old Australian Alex de Minaur in round 2, and that's later tonight. Then, unfortunately, the 3rd Varsity Cup bubble in Tshwane has been pushed out by 1 week. The Varsity Cup board made the decision to postpone the next bubble after 3 UP Tuks players tested positive for the coronavirus ahead of their clash against log leaders UCT's Ikes last week. The tournament will now resume on Monday, the 17th of May, with round 7. The Varsity Cup final will take place on the 31st of May. And staying with cricket and corona effects, the Indian Premier League match between the Kolkata Knight Riders and Royal Challengers Bangalore has been postponed as well due to positive COVID-19 tests. The match was scheduled to take place yesterday in Ahmedabad, but KKR players Varun Chakravarthi and Sandeep Warrier both tested positive for the coronavirus. Now, one IPL match is scheduled for today, and that's the Sunrisers Hyderabad facing the Mumbai Indians, kicking off at 4 p.m. That's where we leave our sporting headlines for now, for this hour at least. Let's get our first take on the day with some of your beautiful sunrise pictures and see what the weather has in store.
Thanks a lot, G. We got a special one today. We are sending big thanks to all of our viewers that have so enthusiastically stepped up to share their beautiful sunrise photos with us. And we start the morning off with this beautiful ocean view from Jason Sawa, who was actually quite sweet, sending us a picture from Muizenberg in Cape Town. Today will be mostly sunny in your area, but cooler than yesterday. This next one is very, very special. It's a shout out for her brother Mike, who's part of our social team. And now the sun is glowing on my face because Mike is smiling. This gorgeous photo is from Jess Wright from Limpopo, who sent us all the best wishes for a good day ahead, but especially to Mikey. So Mike, if you look at this picture, this is yours, make it your wallpaper, and I thank you. So if you'd like to see your sunrise photo featured, it is really simply just head over to Expresso's Facebook page and then share your picture with us as well as your location so you can be featured right here on Expresso and S3. So while we enjoy experiencing a sunrise from your part of South Africa, we do have some international viewers tuning in on both YouTube and the Africa channel in the US of A. Now this morning we report on the weather for the city of Cheyenne and this capital city of the state of Wyoming. Cheyenne has a cool, semi-arid climate. Winters tend to be cold and moderately long, but relatively dry. The cold winter days are often interrupted by Chinook winds blowing downslope from the Rockies that can bring warm conditions, bringing the maximum temperature above 10 degrees Celsius. Today's forecast for the city of Cheyenne is mostly cloudy with a thunder shower in your part of the area, and that'll come around this afternoon. A maximum of only 9 degrees Celsius will be reached. Let's jump into some weather news. Now, climate change has won big in Germany. The country's High Court has ruled that Germany's climate change laws are insufficient and violate fundamental freedoms by putting the burden of curbing CO2 emissions on the youth. It says the law fails to supply sufficient detail on cutting CO2 emissions after current targets end in 2030. Now, the government will now have to revise the law before the end of the next year, and the decision comes a week after the European Union unveiled ambitious new climate change targets. Under the law, which was agreed between member states and the European Parliament, the bloc will cut carbon emissions by at least 55%, and that is by 2030 compared to 1990 levels. Now, the German High Court ruling partially upheld complaints brought by climate change activists, most of them young, and environmental groups between 2018 and 2020. Now, German climate activist Luisa Neubauer of the Fridays for Future movement and one of the plaintiffs in the case described the huge decision as a huge win for the climate movement. And one of the lawyers involved in the case, Felix Eckert, hailed it as a groundbreaking victory. Climate change, something definitely to be focused on, as well as your temperatures from across the country. Let's jump onto those very, very quickly. And I'll start you off in Polokwane. As always, 9 is your low. That rises to a high of 22 degrees Celsius. Bombela, a little chilly this morning with 12, but rising to 26. Pretoria, you can expect 23 as your maximum from a low of 9. Johannesburg, 8 to 21 for you today. Mahikeng, 6 to 23. Klerksdorp, 6 to 24 for you. Kimberley, 8 to 23. Bloemfontein, 22 year high from a low of 4. Richards Bay can expect 14 this morning, rising to 25. Pietermaritzburg, 10 to 26. Durban, good morning to you, 16 to 24. Mtata, 28, the maximum from a low of 8. East London, 14 to 26. Cradock, you can expect 27, the max from a low of 7. Gqeberha, 15 to 24 for you. George, 14 to 22. The Mother City, 26, the high from a low of 16. Worcester, a biggie Vusia, 27 maximum, and that is from a low of 10. Sutherland, 5 to 20, and then Uppington, always wrapping up with you, 28 the maximum, and that is from a low of 14 degrees Celsius. Those are your temperatures. I'll have a few more updates throughout the show, but if you want to send those sunrise pictures, please do. Expresso's Facebook page is the place to go, and open up with us on S3.
Yeah, open up indeed, and thank you so much. You know how much we love those sunrise pictures. It gets the day going, and it gets our Tuesday back into the swing of things. Now, of course, if you just missed it, we were talking about someone special.
That's
Spanish.
right. Well, listen, we've got some Portuguese influence. His music has not only been hitting the South African airwaves, it's been hitting abroad as well. Miguel Pregueiro,
Woo!
he is on your Feel Good Breakfast show. We're going to connect with him after the break, and of course, get to find out a little bit more about his new singles that he has released. So that and a whole lot more coming up, so don't go anywhere.
You can do anything. All you need is determination. And a fresh pair of these, Nallis. But what's the point of looking like Injeke if your dreams go up in flames? In this world of doing it for Ikram, do you want a bank that takes your money or a bank that takes your money seriously?
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso on S3. And you're just in time because our next music guest, his music has been on the airwaves in countries like Brazil, Portugal, Venezuela, and Spain, and charted across stations in South Africa.
Now, his name is Miguel Pregueiro, and he's joining us amidst the release of his latest singles, Hola and Loco. Now, please, let's give a warm round of applause and a welcome to Miguel in the building.
Appreciate it.
Good morning, brother. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic. I'm great. And yourself, guys?
You know what? We can't complain, but I have to ask you, how many people have butchered your surname? You're used to it by now.
There are more people butcher it than get it right, but I'm totally used to it. And I appreciate the fact that people are trying to pronounce it.
Yeah.
So that's all that matters.
We have to try. We
Yeah.
have to try. But of course, we want to get to know you a little bit better. I know that you graduated at the top of your class at AFDA in 2017. And something I always find quite interesting is what you study and what you end up doing, if it actually, if it helps you in any way. How has being at AFDA prepared you for where you are now?
So for me, going into AFDA, I was really behind everybody in the sense that I had no music background. So I felt like I had to work twice as hard to try and get any sense of the music space. But I feel like it really prepared me well for the industry and set the benchmark for all the different avenues that I had to actually work on improving. And yeah, I think if I didn't go, you wouldn't see me sitting here with you right now.
So let's be grateful for that.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Now look, not only are you trying, not only are you singing, right, but you choose to sing songs in Portuguese, Spanish, English, amongst other language. Now my question is, those are some, like, for me personally, some pretty attractive languages. They're very powerful. Why are you choosing to sing in these songs? Are you using this force like pertinently? Are you effectively going to do this?
So partly because of the reason you just explained, that they are quite sensual, kind of sexy languages that people find. And also I do have background in Portuguese and Spanish from my family. They're predominantly all Portuguese.
Oh, so you didn't just sit there and be like, I want to find the sexiest language I can, and I'm going to... Okay.
But that just happened to be a bonus of it all. So, but it's because I'm Portuguese and I'm very strong with my heritage and background.
And on that note, is it something that you're still able to express yourself? Because obviously in different languages we have different ways to express ourselves.
Yes.
English, obviously, I'd imagine you've kind of got that on check.
Yes.
But when it comes to the other languages, are you still able to express that feel?
So for me, it's weird to explain. It's quite different. With English, I can interpret it obviously as the lyrics are and really portray that emotion. With Spanish, I almost just have a stronger connection to the music when I'm singing in Spanish and Portuguese. It's like more, I feel the music a bit more, not necessarily the lyrics that I'm singing, if that makes sense. It's weird. It's like more musical.
I got you.
Is Afrikaans something you would tap into? Because I personally find Afrikaans a very descriptive language.
Yes. So I've sang the national anthem. And I tried the Dharma song by Biggie once. It went down really well, but I'm not very good.
Okay.
I'll give it to Afrikaans.
Okay, well, it was worth asking, but I know that there was a video of you that's gone viral where people were comparing you to the likes of Trevor Noah.
Oh, yes.
Let's talk about that.
That was crazy.
I remember that was during lockdown, right? I remember chatting to you via video call as well about it.
That was completely unexpected. I was just putting a video out there because I got a lot of comments. Oh, you look like Trevor, you guys are brothers, you know. So to me, that was crazy. And then when I made a bit of a joke out of it, I didn't expect it to go viral. And then all these things kept happening in interviews, and I was like, slow down, guys. To me, I don't feel like I even resemble him at all. But the more people are saying it, the more I'm like, oh, they're onto something.
You know what? It is the eyes. There's definitely something to it.
I just think it's because you both look like superstars, man. That's what it is. That's what it is.
That's a good answer.
Oh, my God.
So look, brother, I mean, I'm still fascinated by this sort of international appeal that you have, the way you present yourself and express yourself. The question I have for you now, and this is where you've got to be careful. We ask this to a lot of artists, and it does materialize, man, so be careful for what you wish for. Would you ever think of or plan to actually perform overseas in some of the places that you've been singing their language as well, Portuguese, Spanish, etc.? Is it something that you plan to do? And if you could, would you maybe even want to collaborate with an artist?
You are answering all my dreams there. You're asking all my dreams. So it's 100% something I've always wanted to do. Last year I had the opportunity and then COVID stopped everything.
Yeah, of course.
I was going to be in Portugal for 3 months.
Okay.
And, but I know that it's an opportunity that can hopefully represent itself again.
Yeah.
In terms of collaborating, I would absolutely love that. I'm all about collabs and combining different vibes together. So that's a yes, yes, yes. For
Yes,
sure.
yes, yes. Okay, well, he is not going anywhere. When I say he, I mean Miguel Pregueiro. Did I say that correct?
Yeah, it was close, but...
Close. Pregueiro.
Yes, you
There
got
we
it,
go.
you got it.
Miguel's not going anywhere, so stay tuned to your Feel Good Breakfast show. I'll get to the pronunciation of his surname eventually.
All that I am, or ever hope to be, I owe to my angel mother. That was said by Abraham Lincoln, and there are no truer words. No, honestly, I do not know where I would be without. Don't laugh, man.
No, I'm smiling because you're warming like my entire soul with regard to that. It's so true because we owe a lot to the moms, you know.
Dear mama, yeah.
Honestly, you know, that's the first woman that you learnt how to respect. And that particular relationship has now cast this entire respect culture upon your life.
Completely,
all the way through.
man. No, it really is. It's like part of my archetype, and I owe her absolutely everything. And I just keep thinking of how much I put this poor woman through.
Yep.
So we're going to reward our mothers. We are going to give them the most. And aside from obviously two things that my mom loves, me, she digs her coffee and she loves her biscuits, which got me thinking, because I have access to the best of both, why not treat my mum to the most important figure in my life? Undoubtedly, let's treat her to a biscuit and coffee pairing. A double delight, and I can then show off all of my coffee knowledge that I've learned over the last couple of months.
Okay,
let's
I'm
bring in
Trevor.
Trevor Noah.
Trevor Noah. Oh, sorry, Miguel.
Now that you've said it, dude, now I can't get away from it.
It's okay. I'll embrace it. I'll embrace it.
Okay.
But these things were meant to be, obviously, I was checking out one of your songs that had been playlisted on Apple Music.
Yes,
and I was like, look at that. I know that guy was there when he was first born. It's so cool to see how well you're doing, dude. It's just incredible. So you're going to have the joy. This is how nice I am as a guy, okay? I'm going to give you the coffee this morning. No, if you knew me, dude, you would understand what a vote of kind of generosity that is. So we're having a little bit of fun this morning. We are pairing our biscuits, beautiful Nespresso biscuits, with some really nice coffee, and you guys are going to tell me what you think.
Yeah, great. Also, you can get him to pronounce each one. That'd be also quite fun. Yeah, because nobody can pronounce Miguel's surname, so it's actually cool that you can pronounce these. So this is your first challenge over here.
Okay.
What does it say?
This is Italian, though. Cantuccini.
Yes,
man.
Smashed it.
I hope I said it right.
I think you did. I think you nailed it.
No, we butcher these names every day, dude. That sounded beautiful.
Right.
Okay, so let's give it a taste, guys. It's kind of like a biscotti vibe, almond flavor. And you're pairing it with a shot, an espresso of the Ispirazione Roma. So this is an Italian blend. It's quite a nice, strong, dark roast, beautiful, intense flavor. Go for it.
You know what, Graham, I love it when you speak foreign. You know, I know that now. It's great. Okay, so what we're going to do is...
And what I like about these cups is they make your hands look really big, Carl.
They do. Well, why do you think, dude? This is the only cups. These are the only cups I have in my house. It makes sense. Okay.
That was mean, man. I'm sorry.
So start with the rusk.
I love you, bro. And you know that every Italian mum has just rolled in their grave and you call that a rusk, eh? That's a piece of biscotto.
You know what this tastes like?
What?
It tastes very Pregueiro. It's got that.
So it's quite spicy.
How did you know? It's very good.
What do you think?
Perfeito. Perfect.
Oh, nice.
I think it was Portuguese for perfect. I wasn't sure. It was. Thank goodness.
Okay, we don't have like 5 hours yet.
Oh, sorry. Okay, next up.
Come on.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I should make you wash your mouth out and then do it again. Okay.
Another pronunciation?
Ooh, this is a tough one. I have to pass this one on.
Okay,
Come on,
go for it.
Man, you can do it.
Oh, I know these guys. They actually help you with your money. Financiers.
Financiers?
Financier.
Financier, and we are
that
using
sounds
the pistachio blend here. So these obviously have a pistachio undernote, and we're using the Nicaragua. And these are beautiful. They go through a fermenting process to give it a nice high acidity, middle of the range flavor profile. It's a 5 on the intensity level. Absolutely delicious. I think it's going to balance the pistachio.
These look good.
They do indeed.
Now, just
Do your thing.
dig on the texture of these biscuits, dude.
Okay.
How they get that kind of the gooiness, hey? And then, wait for it. Pistachio. Hey? It comes in as like a pistachio.
You know what I love about this one? This is latent sweetness that is balanced by the the subtlety of the bitterness in this coffee.
You have a latent sweetness that comes out.
I do, don't I? Thank you.
I would just say it's really good.
Oh, yeah, let me just say that.
Please, in another language, dude.
Perfetto.
We hired you for
Perfect.
one.
Again,
There we go.
perfect.
Perfect. There we go.
This is good.
Okay.
All right,
Good
guys.
stuff.
Oh, that was really good.
I know.
I might finish this
You
one.
can go back to these. You can go back and finish them, I promise you. Okay,
Definitely
I'm
will.
not going to be that cruel that I'll give you a taste and not allow it. Okay, let's move on to our last one. It's the Financier's Chocolat.
Oh, chocolate.
Chocolat.
Okay, grab it in this. We're pairing with part of the Lungo range, the new Explorations range, one of my favorite coffees out of all of the 100 million that Nespresso make.
Oh, wow.
The Buenos Aires. Absolutely beautiful, robust flavors. Get on it, man.
I love this one too, and also you give me a bigger cup, so my hand is going to go back to small, which is fine, but I don't mind because this is a good lungo. Okay.
The cup's not actually that big.
Well, I mean, it's all about perspective.
And nice. I actually haven't tasted the chocolate. What's it like?
It's my favorite.
Yeah. Talk me through it.
This is great.
Nice. Hey, and this
Once
is
again-
and this is a nice build, hey, and your exploration of, and then get to
is-
the indulgent dessert. Beautiful.
And I
eh?
like this as a Mother's Day option as well. You know, take your mom through the course of
It's
pairings.
interesting.
It is
Yeah.
indeed. It's a great morning of Mother's Day.
And you've
Cheers.
also got the
Now-
amaretti.
now I
You can
feel
let us
like-
know what you would pair the amaretti with, buddy. Keep doing what you do. We love you, man. And Miguel is going to be performing just for you mothers out there a little bit later. But we've got another great pairing experience, and we think that's a coffee and chocolate pairing. And speaking of which, Nespresso has the ultimate Mother's Day gift. When you buy 25 sleeves of coffee, you get 2 Origin cups, these delicious chocolates, and a Nespresso barista apron, all unbelievably top quality. And the promotion ends on the 9th of May and is for both in-store and online purchases. And as always, don't forget to get your recycling bag as well and get those capsules in there so that we can recycle them and they can be turned into really cool things. You can have one. Which one would you like?
I feel like I'm stealing.
Yeah, I'm just going to go
I
now.
said one, dude. I said one. No, yeah, you can have them all.
No,
You
this
can have
is
them all,
great. This is
Oh,
great.
cheers, guys.
Thank you.
I need a coffee so badly.
With every cup, we cultivate some of the finest coffee in the world, celebrating farmers as artists, elevating every coffee moment, because with every cup, precious coffee preserves the beauty of our world. Nespresso, what else?
Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso on S3, and Mother's Day is around the corner. She is someone we can look up to, a strong woman doing the work of 20 for free, and she's also our role model and best friend, and this week we celebrate her as we prepare for Mother's Day. Now, homeware editor Danelle Weekly, she is here to unpack her editor's pick for Mother's Day gifting ideas. Danelle, it's always so good to have you here.
So nice to be here, thank you.
You know what, I'm looking at these fun gifts in front of me, and before we unpack the different ones you've selected, let's first talk about what are some of the gifts moms can expect this year.
So, I mean, I think for me, Mother's Day, and I say this as a mom, is often it's about the thought that counts. Just want to be remembered on the day.
Yeah.
So I think it's sometimes you get a little bit nervous about it being May, and it's like, okay, so do we do winter things? Is it a PJs thing? Is it a throw? What are we doing for our moms this year? But what I've tried to pick is something that's a little bit indulgent, so something she wouldn't necessarily buy herself, something that sort of echoes winter, so that has a little bit of luxury, but something that you, as the giver, could also personalize for your mom.
Okay, I like that. Now, you've curated a selection of gifts
Yes.
here that mom would love. Where should we start?
Should we just start
front
at
of
the end
you.
and just keep
Okay,
rolling?
perfect.
So something like this it's just a little scented spoil treat. So it's for the mom that wants something that you think might want something a little bit indulgent. Room diffuser with a beautiful scent, scented candles, beautiful hand creams, things like that. So again, something that she could use anywhere and wouldn't necessarily buy herself.
I like that. I feel like that a lot of moms won't spoil themselves. They'll either spoil the family first before choosing themselves. So I think this is one of those
We
days
are
where...
so selfless like that.
Oh, you guys are.
So there's that. This one is a little bit more wintry for me. There's a beautiful throw, which I think is something great either for a bed or for watching, I don't know, The Notebook.
I feel like you need to reveal that
on
throw for
TV.
us, because I
can
love the
reveal
bag.
the throw.
There we go.
So beautiful throw, silk pillowcase, which any mother will tell you is excellent for beauty sleep.
I was about to say, that's like the new rage right now. It's perfect for your hair, it's perfect for your skin, it's perfect for the wrinkles.
That's it. It's great to keep wrinkles at bay, very good for your skin. And again, like, it's quite an indulgent thing, a silk pillow. I think it's quite a beautiful thing. It's like a cute small gift that doesn't have to necessarily cost a fortune. And then this is just a little something from Charlotte Reese, because what's not to love about a pillow spray if you really wanted to kind of add a little something.
See, I've never tried that. So that's something I would love as a gift. So I can imagine my mom would love something like that as a
And
gift.
I think like pillow sprays are also there to help you get to sleep. So, I mean, I'm obsessed with the idea of the sleep economy. So the fact that you can even pay for a pillow spray with lavender that helps you sleep gives me no amount of joy.
Sold.
Yeah,
There we
exactly.
go. Now, what do we have
okay,
here
the
in front of
caffeine
us?
addict mom.
Oh, yes.
Again, like the idea of a plunger that's all mine kind of fills me with endless joy. So plunger, mug, and I mean, you could fill this with coffee beans, but you can also fill it with a chocolate or a chuckle.
All the sweet treats. Moms have a special love for some chocolate or like their favorite crisps or...
And again, I think what I've tried to create is little moments, pockets of downtime for your mom. So a little coffee moment, a little bit of sleep, something indulgent.
I love that. Now, I love that we have all this great packaging here from Woolworths.
Happy
But we also
Mother's
have
Day.
like fun gifts. So here we've got a beautiful hand towel.
And a little something to enjoy your night's rest. This for me was
night's
about the
snooze.
chance to have a beautiful bath, go to bed, moisturize, put that on, and just have a quiet night to yourself.
Mom's night
Mom's night in, exactly.
There we go. Okay, I love all the gifting ideas you've selected. Out of the four, which is your favorite?
I mean, I'm obsessed with the idea of an eye mask and a silk pillow, but mostly because I feel like Joan Collins when I think about it.
So
I
if
pick and
your kids
choose.
are watching now, like
Yeah,
hint,
exactly.
hint. There we go. Danelle, it's always so great having you here. Thank you for showing us all
Thanks
these
so much,
amazing
Zoe.
Mother's Day gifting ideas. So if you're still not sure what to get mom for Mother's Day, you have got plenty of time ahead of Sunday, and you can shop all of these amazing gifting ideas from Woolworths. You can do so in-store, online, or through the Woolies app.
I'm just absolutely loving this gifting because I'm writing all these notes down as fast as I can. And speaking of gifting, we're continuing that trend and we're moving all the way from homeware to foodie options. And definitely have you covered. Now, Clem's mom, Verna, is obviously his #1 supporter, his closest confidant and soul teacher, and of course, an all-time cheerleader. Now, for all the ways in which she has cared for her son, Clem is here and treating her with these gifts from Woolies that overflow with absolute deliciousness and, of course, with love for Mother's Day. So, Clem, I'm taking some more notes down because this is something that I definitely want to add to that Mother's Day box, man.
My first foodie gift is not an actual foodie item,
Okay.
but it's got natural fruit extracts in there, so it's got foodie elements in it, because I know every Mother's Day there's one thing I have to get, and that's a good hand cream.
All right, okay.
And this is lemon verbena for Verna, because it makes sense, right?
Verbena for Verna.
There we go. And the hand wash and the lemon verbena is so amazing as well. You just feel like Mrs. Woolworths when you're done washing your hands with this.
Do. I love the fact that, and I've tried this because I think we had one of these in the bathroom and I have one at home. It's so much better than the alcohol sanitizers.
Right?
I like to actually know that, wow, I actually smell good. I don't smell like alcohol.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And it's vegan friendly, which is
Oh,
also
nice.
amazing.
Love that.
And again, like I said, it's natural extracts in there of foodie things that you would eat. Don't eat this, but I'm just saying the fact that it's got the natural root and you just feel a lot better. And I've just actually used it. You can't feel my hands now, but they're feeling like butter. Butter.
Nice.
So good.
If it's good enough to put in your body, it's good enough to put on then. I like that.
I love that. I'm going to use that. Okay.
It's yours.
The next one is, my mom really does like a foodie gift. So like, even doesn't matter how small it is, it's something special that I find and I take it to her, she's over the moon with excitement. So let's start off with olive oil. Olive oil we use so often, but every now and then you get something very special. And this one is very special. It's obviously extra virgin olive oil infused with smoked chili, and it's small batch produced.
Wow.
The quality of this is amazing. And I think I kind of got my foodie love from my mom. If I get something like this, just take it like a little minute, get a good piece of bread with olive oil drizzled over it.
Ooh,
5 minutes. 5 minutes. Just a little bit of a break, just to like have that special moment. This is so good.
Making me hungry. That sounds good. That's a bougie.
This is a
olive oil
very
indeed.
bougie
I
one. The
love that.
bottle alone is
And
very
I think
special.
it's also the fact when it comes to your mom, it's not just about the gift, but the thought behind it.
The
If you can
thought.
connect it, if you can have a special reason, it makes it so much more valuable, especially with your mom. I mean, you can never pay her back the money in value and what she's actually instilled in your life, but I think things like this where you really think them through, that's perfect.
Absolutely.
Clem. Nice stuff. What else you got for us?
So with a good olive oil, you need a good balsamic.
Okay.
This one is very special. So balsamic is made by infusing the grape must with some grape vinegar, right? And we know that, right? But when they do something very special and they age it for 3 years,
Excuse me?
it becomes 3 years.
So 3 years ago, this was being made for this moment, right?
Right.
3 years ago.
Especially for this?
2018. Are you kidding me?
Can you believe
What?
it? But this guy's very special because of that aging process. It takes on so many different like flavors and textures. Actually, it thickens it slightly. You can even see that it
Yeah.
works beautifully on desserts. On desserts, which is very like, you know, balsamic vinegar and vinegars in general, this one's amazing. Obviously with savory foods, but it becomes something totally different when you add it to like a fresh bowl of strawberries. Magical. So that
And
goes.
it looks so prestigious.
It
like,
is.
The class of it almost makes me feel that I would like dash this like a cologne. That's how good it looks, man.
You can try it later.
I'll try it because it probably does smell that good as well.
It does, and it tastes amazing. Next one is honey. And this is so strange, but honestly, this is a foodie gift I would give my mom. She loves honey, but she's very like specific about it. It's got to be like locally sourced, obviously,
Yes.
which this one is. And you know, honey is very specific to the region where the bees have actually been out there gathering the pollen. And what the farmers in South Africa have done is they've put their hives in the wild flora in South Africa. So those bees are taking in the most amazing South African
Some of our
essence.
natural indigenous floral arrangements, our fynbos, etc. And I love the fact also, Clem, that it's also sustainable. Remember, 80% of our crops are pollinated via bees, number one, and our initial manufacturing of honey has been just like kind of just pillaging of the hives. So the fact that they're looking back at sustaining, helping, assisting, and making that longevity of the bee that much better,
The
I'm
bee
here for it.
and the badger.
bee.
And this
Oh,
is
yes.
badger friendly.
Are you serious?
It is. And
Yes,
it has
please.
to be.
Well
We
done,
have to shop
Woolies.
today to
Yeah.
keep tomorrow in mind. And Woolies have done that completely like through their gifting range, which I appreciate so much. So
Good
this
story
honey,
for mom as well when you give this gift. It's going to give it so much more value as well.
absolutely. By the way, this on a piece of sourdough toast with a little touch of
Stop
salt.
it now,
A
you're
touch
making
of
me
salt.
hungry. Stop,
okay.
stop.
It's absolutely delicious. So a little bit of a drink during the week. But this one's special, it's de-alkalized. So you can have it now and don't feel guilty about it. Like have a little, like run yourself a bath. Okay, not you, Mom, have a little time out there, sit in the garden, and because there's no alcohol in it, it's perfectly fine. You still
So you
get
can
the...
have guilt-free indulgence for the whole bottle.
Yes, wine, yes, you can actually. But the same characteristics and the nuances of the wine are still there, just minus the alcohol. And because it's Mother's Day, you've got to have something to celebrate, a little bit of a bubble.
So you got to pop it off and celebrate.
So they've come through with the alcohol-free bubbles.
Oh,
It is
nice.
delicious. This perfect. We're transiting into winter, but they still put like a little chilled glass of bubbles in the middle of the week. Why not?
Oh, Clem, you have absolutely delivered. Thank you so much for this. And of course, you, Mzansi, at home can too celebrate, because right now we are congratulating yesterday's Woolies 1,000 Rand gift winner. And we asked you to share your personal Mother's Day message on our social pages and use the hashtag Woolies Mother's Day. So that winner has come through. So again, I get a drum roll, please. Our winner is Entile Nomzabo. Entile, I hope you have an incredible time. Happy shopping to you. And this is what she had to say. Let's check it out, her gift. So she says, your spirit lives in me. Thank you, Mom, for constantly watching over me from above. Thank you, Mom, for the birds that visit our home every morning. Your voice of guidance echoes in my ears all the time. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. May the heaven watch over you.
That's beautiful.
That is an absolutely beautiful message. That's what we're encouraging everybody at home to do. And of course, you too stand a chance to win a 1,000 Rand Woolies gift card too. And all you got to do is share your personal Mother's Day message on our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram competition post, along with that hashtag Woolies Mother's Day. And the competition closes at 9 a.m. today. So hurry up, get involved. Your T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com. And I'm going to be taking down some more notes because these gifts are incredible.
It's
Thank
amazing.
you, Clem. Thank
It's a pleasure.
Dear Mum,
I love you. I love you.
Thank you for always being the Mbokoto that you are.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso on S3, and it's been an amazing morning. Thank you for choosing your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Now, South African-based singer and songwriter Miguel Pregueiro, he is focused on bringing the Latin flavor to South Africa with his music. So we've decided to add the juicy, fruity flavor of Maynard's gums and jellies to his morning in order to ensure that he has a hashtag Juicy Kaboom day. Now, this is your Juicy Kaboom moment.
It's a juicy kaboom!
what?
There we go.
I was never ready.
Well, that was your Juicy Kaboom moment. Of course, I can hold on to that. I won't eat any of it, but I'll keep it safe for you because you're about to perform your first song.
Correct.
So this one is Solo.
You got it.
What is special about this track?
So this song is a song about, so solo means alone in Spanish. It's more a song about losing someone and you kind of realize that it's because of your own mistakes.
Oh.
And now you're left alone, you're lost. If I translate the lyrics directly, they don't sound as cool.
It ruins it.
It ruins it.
Okay.
But yeah, it's basically around that kind of idea.
Okay, well, listen, let's not delay it any longer. This is your moment. Thank you so much for joining us today. Here is Miguel with Solo.
Thank you.
I see the way you shine. Open up your heart and see forgiveness in my eyes. Oh girl, I tried, holding on to memories that we made on summer nights. Oh girl, I died, burning on a fire I believed was still alive. Estoy solo, estoy perdido, estoy solo. Nunca sin ti, sin parar contigo. Estoy solo, estoy perdido, estoy solo. Nunca sin ti, sin parar, estoy solo. I see the way you cry, tears that stain your face after you held onto my lies. Oh girl, I tried, promised that I loved you every day, a paradise. Oh girl, I died, 'cause I see no fire when I look into your eyes. Estoy solo, estoy perdido, estoy solo. Nunca sin ti, sin parar contigo. Estoy solo, estoy perdido, estoy solo. Nunca sin ti, sin parar contigo. Quiero amarte, abrazarte, quiero amarte, abrazarte, sin parar contigo. Quiero besarte y sentirte, besarte y sentirte, sin parar contigo. Estoy solo, estoy perdido, estoy solo. Nunca sin ti, sin parar contigo. Estoy solo, estoy perdido, estoy solo. Nunca sin ti, sin parar, estoy solo. Muchas gracias.
Woo!
Thank you, thank you.
Miguel Pregueiro on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Stick around because we've got more sultry music from Miguel heading your way. And of course, this is your hashtag Juicy Kaboom jar. Here we go.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
As technology advances in this very new digital age with a demand for a stable internet connection and a variety of technologies to choose from, it's easy to lose human connection. So how do we make sure humanity and technology work hand in hand for a better society? We need it now more than ever. We're about to chat to George Mendes, the Chief Officer for Vodacom Consumer Business Unit, on how we can create a world that is digitally inclusive without losing that human touch in the process. George, very good morning. How are you?
Very good. Welcome. Thank you so much. Lovely to be here.
I'm very excited for what we're about to talk about, because what role does Vodacom Home want to play in the lives of South African families?
Yeah, Zoe, thanks very much. I mean, effectively, connectivity is like the basic thing that we will do. But beyond connectivity, we ensure that entertainment, education, security, all of these things that are capabilities that you unlock as working from home is what we provide. And that's exactly what Graham just mentioned now. It's bringing technology and human beings together to really unlock the capabilities.
How are you as Vodacom Home Internet helping open up a world of opportunities for one's family, obviously from the home? What do you think sets you apart from your competitors?
So what makes us different is we can quite easily deploy insurance products. If you look at cybersecurity and if you look at all these kind of things that are now really at the forefront, we need to ensure that you've got someone that's really reliable that can provide these level of services. We have mobile backup as a service, if you take fiber as an example, and there are a whole host of other products and services that we have. Of course, a 24-hour call center, we have home tech support, we can set up super Wi-Fi in your household. So there are a number of initiatives and products that we have that really clearly set us aside and apart from some of the competitors.
And I love that you are leading this and, of course, making sure that we all stay connected. Now, George, talk to us about the importance of a home that is connected, and how does technology improve the lives and the general well-being at this house?
First and foremost, you need to have connectivity. I think it's the oxygen nowadays. If you think of education and online education and remote education, you could have a child missing a whole piece of their curriculum as a result of not having that connectivity. If you look at consumer IoT products, basic things like just sensors for your doors and windows and switching on alarms and to save electricity in today's day and age is quite a critical thing because of the cost of living. So all of these kind of services are things that you can just add on. And it's almost like Lego blocks. If you take the basic product set, you can just add on as you go along.
And each step can enhance your quality of life. I think connectivity speaks to, for me over the last year, keeping my family connected. I love the direction that we are moving in now, and you clearly are leading that charge. Maybe a good time for you to paint a picture for us of what the Vodacom Home looks and feels like. You've touched on some of these elements, but what experiences can one expect, and maybe elaborate on the products that you have in place to cater to those various connectivity needs in the household?
I think the important part is to firstly get connected. So we have fiber, and there are a number of fiber options. We provide our own infrastructure. We also sell on behalf of other infrastructure providers. You can have different speeds. You can have effectively different bundle sizes. You can go to unlimited fiber. We have a product called Radwin, which effectively is a fixed wireless product. We could connect from the closest base station in a fixed wireless environment. And we have 5G, which is obviously wireless. We have 4G, which is wireless. And effectively, the difference with these is they give you different speeds and you've got different latency capabilities. Latency, in a nutshell, is simply the amount of time, if you like. If you're a gamer, then you want no latency. So if you're playing some kind of game and
zero ping,
you need to shoot one of the baddies in your game, then you want that reaction speed to be instant as opposed to a delayed reaction. So we have all these product sets that are really available to whatever the requirements are and the needs are. And that's the very first layer at different prices, on a contract basis, month to month, with Wi-Fi mesh environments, and any other hardware you may have. Also UPS, so uninterrupted power supplies, is something that we do. And the reason for that is obviously, when load shedding kicks in, you want to make sure that you can still continue, at least for a number of hours.
Well, I feel like you hit the nail on the head. We have a large gaming community that watches the show.
Massive,
so
yeah. Zero ping they want. Zero ping.
Now, I love this phrase, when your family connects, we go further together.
Yeah.
Do you mind telling me a little bit about exactly what you mean with this?
We are fundamentally changing the way in what we deliver, in how we deliver. We want to make sure that we leave the planet in a better place than what we found it in. We want to make sure that we have connectivity and inclusivity for all. It's the basic right. Suddenly, when you are able to educate the child remotely, it's a fundamental difference. You are no longer selling a SIM card with a router, with a data plan and a package. You are now educating lives. During the COVID pandemic, and we're still in it, but in the more harsh lockdown levels, if we did not have connectivity to remain somewhat insane and in touch with our families, everyone being connected is just a fundamental thing that needs to happen.
Leveling the playing field, and I think we are probably more connected globally even now than we ever have been before. So thank you for playing your part. I've picked up a lot from this. I didn't actually take on board how much of a new movement forward Vodacom Home really is for your organization and for the country. So thank you so much for opening my eyes this morning. I really do appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Graham. Thank you, Zoe.
There we go. That is George Mendes, and there is no denying the world around us is changing at a rapid pace, and the shift towards smart home connectivity is the way of the future. Now visit Vodacom Home for more on these amazing products.
When your family connects, we go further together. Vodacom.
We go further together. Time now, though, to get your wallets out. I want those cards coming out. Those notes coming out. We're going shopping.
Okay.
Everybody, right? Why am I the only person here excited about the idea of going shopping?
I don't know, because it depends if you're going to use our money or yours.
Yeah, because you asked for our cards.
Okay. All right. Okay. We're still going shopping. It's time for us to take a look at another set of scenarios in one of my favorite segments of the show that we've got brought to us by Nedbank. It's called Would You Rather? It's all about seeing where you are, where your mind is at in terms of your spending habits and your financial behavior.
Okay, I'm actually intrigued now because I think I got a scenario exactly for you. In fact, both of you. Well, I mean, you obviously being the shopper, Raul being obviously the gentleman who is a bit more conservative with regard to spending. Thank you for that.
I like that.
This is the situation, okay? Yeah. Now, would you rather, here it is. So there's a pair of sneakers, pair of shoes. And they are super expensive.
Okay.
All right, but you really want them.
Yeah.
So how do you get them? How do you actually, get the cash? Now, you've got two options here. You can either dip into your savings that you've been building up for quite a while, or you could just cut back on some weekend outings and save up. Okay, I'm going to start with you, Raul, because you look like you're ready to
answer.
So here's the thing, right? So in this scenario you're giving me,
yes.
I picture an epic pair of hiking boots that I really want. That's
what I pictured for you too.
And then the weekend activities are hikes.
Yeah.
So I'm like in a conundrum here. Like, do I not hike to get a shoe that I can hike with later? Or do I leave the shoe? You got me here, man. But I think just for the sake of like longevity, I would prefer to maybe just hold off on the shoe.
Yes.
I think hold off maybe because once I get it, I know I'm coasting. I got weekends and more ahead of me to utilize them. So it's a functional answer. I don't know what you think of that. I don't know what
I like it. It's very, very diplomatic and it's good and it's well thought out.
It's considered, right? It's very well considered.
I go to you now.
You're the stylish guy, so I want to hear from a style perspective.
I would dip into my savings.
Okay.
And buy the shoes. Because why am I saving? I'm saving so I can buy the things that I see later, right? So I can buy. That's the reason for saving.
I feel you.
But let's see what everybody else is saying on social media.
All right, so social media, this is what you are saying. There we go.
Caroline Lubisi says, B, cut back on weekend outings and save up. All right, okay. So she's on my side, I think, for the first one. And then we got Jody Stoffels also saying B, all right. And Zodwa Zozo Bulunga, another B, all right. So far, it looks like everybody's dipping into the saving. We've got some more, though. Let's check it out. Can you guys see that?
Estelle Maritz, who says B, I'll feel that I have worked hard for it, and it'll make me feel more proud of myself. Sihle Yapi says B as well, with Mukoni. Petedi Edgar saying B, cut back on weekends outings and save up. Jillian October also says B. Aibo, why
Tubbs,
is everybody...
this weekend, you are going to be the stylishest cat out there.
Yeah.
You're going to be the only one with new shoes.
Yes, because
cool
everybody
point.
else is waiting for December.
Well, the only problem with tapping into the savings is that, you know, when the rainy day comes, you're going to be kitted out, but, you know, what's left for rent?
So my thing is that my rainy day is when I need the new sneakers, because, oh, it's a rainy day. New sneakers are out, I need them. That's why
Dancing in the rain.
Either way, I just believe that, I mean, a healthy bank balance is probably the best look you can get beyond the shoes. And I think this type of responsible saving, it's important, but whatever you feel, if you save up for a reason, that is good on you. But I think let's be nice and smart, especially in the economic times that we are in right now, as we jump into some news right here on Expresso.
Thanks, team. It has just gone 7 o'clock, so time to get back into our news headlines. Let's start here in South Africa. Police took up positions around the Cape Town Magistrates Court yesterday ahead of the appearance of alleged underworld figure Nafis Modak. Modak was arrested last Thursday and spent this weekend in police custody. Police Minister Becky Cele also attended the court proceedings yesterday. Modak's appearance is related to the death of Anti-Gang Unit Section Commander Lieutenant Colonel Charles Kinnear, who died in a suspected hit outside his home in Bishop Lavis on September of the 18th last year. The charges also relate to an attempted hit on Cape Town lawyer William Booth. Then the Gauteng Health Department yesterday raised the alarm over notable increases in the number of new COVID-19 cases in the province. Department spokesperson Kwara Kekana said new cases had increased across the province, particularly in the Sedibeng district compared to the week before. Meanwhile, a person who allegedly travelled from India has tested positive for COVID-19 in a KZN hospital, but which variant he is infected with hasn't been determined as yet, and as a result, the patient is currently in isolation. Then staying on the topic on our international news front, India has postponed exams for trainee doctors and nurses, freeing them to fight the world's biggest surge in coronavirus infections. The number of infections has risen to just short of 20 million after a 12th straight day of more than 300,000 new cases. Medical experts say actual numbers in India could be 5 to 10 times higher than being reported. Hospitals are full and supplies of medical oxygen have now run short. Patients are dying in hospital beds, in ambulances and in car parks. Then bringing it back to the continent, farmers and civil society groups in Uganda are opposing the agreement between oil giant Total, the China National Offshore Oil Corporation, and the governments of Tanzania and Uganda to greenlight oil production in the Lake Albert region of western Uganda. They say it threatens the wetlands and forests that support lives and livelihoods in Albertine, central and southern Uganda, as well as the well-being of Lake Albert itself. And they want environmental and climate impacts evaluated before the project proceeds. Now bringing it back home for good news from the world of entertainment. The multi-award-winning movie This Is Not a Burial, It's a Resurrection, filmed in its entirety in Lesotho, will be screened throughout South Africa from the 21st of May. It's the last movie in which one of South Africa's best actresses, Mary Twala, had a starring role, sadly, before passing away in July of last year. The director of the film is a citizen of Lesotho, Lemogang Jeremiah Mosese. And what makes it most remarkable is that Mosese had no training or experience as a big movie maker before he was roped in to direct. This is not a burial, it's a resurrection. All he could lay claim to was a few homemade mini movies, but since its release, This Is Not a Burial has already bagged close on 30 international awards. We're speaking about the Festival du Nouveau Cinema in Montreal, Canada, and the late Mary Twala walking off with the award for Best Performance by an Actress at the International Hong Kong Film Festival. The film won the award for Best Picture, and at the Haifa Film Festival in Israel, it took top honors for Best International Movie. So well done to the team. That's where we leave our news headlines for now. Let's do a recap of yesterday's sport. Well, certainly going from strength to strength in the world of tennis. South African tennis sensation Lloyd Harris advanced to the second round of the Madrid Open. That was after seeing off Bulgaria's Grigor Dimitrov in 3 sets. The world number 54 beat the 13th seed 6-3, 3-6, 7-6. That means Harris will now face 22-year-old Australian Alex de Minaur in round 2 tonight. Then on to rugby. COVID is playing its hand. The third Varsity Cup bubble in China has now been pushed out by a week. The Varsity Cup board made the decision to postpone postponed the next bubble after 3 UP Tuks players tested positive for the coronavirus ahead of their clash against log leaders UCT's Ikes last week. The tournament will now resume on Monday, the 17th of May, with round 7, and the Varsity Cup final will still take place now on the 31st of May. Corona playing a role in the IPL again as well. The Indian Premier League match between the Kolkata Knight Riders and Royal Challengers Bangalore was postponed as well due to the positive COVID-19 tests of some of the players. The match was scheduled to take place yesterday in Ahmedabad. KKR players Varun Chakravarthi and Sandeep Warrier both testing positive for the virus. And one IPL match is scheduled for today, and that's the Sunrisers Hyderabad up against the defending champs, the Mumbai Indians, at 4 p.m. Right, we'll touch on those headlines again at 8 o'clock. Right now, a chance to see how the world looks above your part of this beautiful country and get a take on the weather.
Thanks a lot to all of our viewers that take the time to share their gorgeous sunrise images with us. We really love to experience a small part of your country through your sunrise scenes. And for your 7 a.m. weather update, we start off with regular contributor Nancy Governor from Pennington, who is showing off her photography skills yet again with this glorious sunrise over the ocean. We love a good beach scene. Thank you so much. I'm making it my screensaver. Pennington can expect a mostly sunny day ahead with a warm 25 degrees Celsius maximum. And then over to Cape Town, Ridwan Hassan from Ravensmead shared this beautiful silhouetted image with the sun rising in the distance. Cape Town will experience times of sun and clouds with a maximum of 26 degrees Celsius. If you would like to share your sunrise photo with us, just head on over to the Expresso Facebook page. Don't forget to include your location so we can provide a brief weather forecast for your part of the world. Now, while we enjoy experiencing a sunrise from a part of South Africa, we do have some international viewers tuning in on both YouTube and Africa channel in the USA. And this morning we report on the weather from El Paso, Texas. Now, El Paso has about 302 days of sunshine annually, and from this got its nickname the Sun City. Due to its arid, windy climate, El Paso often experiences sand and dust storms with maximum winds being measured at over 120 kilometers per hour. Today will be a pleasant and sunny day ahead with a maximum of 27 degrees Celsius. Over to some climate news. The government of Poland, a Central European nation still relying on coal for 70% of its electricity generation, has initialed a historic agreement with the coal mining industry to phase out coal production by 2049. The deal, which has been under negotiation for months, marks the first time that the powerful coal mining sector in Poland has agreed to end its own existence. Employment in the coal sector has traditionally been a politically sensitive issue in Poland, a country of 38 million people where miners and their families remain a strong voting bloc. The plan includes subsidies that would soften the blow on the miners, and miners will obtain the right to relocate from closed mines to ones still operating or take early retirements at 80% of their salaries. Those who choose to leave mining will qualify for a severance package of $32,000. Analysts, however, say that continuing to produce coal until 2049 is far too long, given the high environmental cost of burning coal and with economic momentum moving toward renewable energy sources. So that's a wrap of your weather news. Let's take a look at the temperatures across the country, and starting as always in Polokwane. 9 is your low, and that rises to a high of 22. Bombela, good morning to you. 12 to 26 is your temperature. Pretoria, 23 is the maximum from a low of 9. A bit chilly in Joburg this morning with 8, but rising to 21 later. Mahikeng, 6 to 23. Klerksdorp, you can expect 6 as well this morning to a high of 24. Kimberley, 8 to 23 for you. Bloemfontein, 4 to 22 degrees Celsius. Richards Bay, 25 the high from a low of 14. Pietermaritzburg, 10 to 26. Durban, you can expect 16 this morning, rising to just 24 later. Mthatha, 8 to 28. East London, 14 to 26. Cradock, 7 to 27. Gqeberha, 15 to 24. George, 22 is your maximum from a minimum of 14 degrees Celsius. Cape Town, 16 to 26. Worcester, that's 10, and that rising to 27 later. Sutherland, 5 to 20, and then Uppington wrapping up with you as always. 28 is your maximum from a low of 14 degrees Celsius. That's a wrap of your temperatures for now. Your final report is coming up at about 8 o'clock, but for now we'll take a quick break. Thereafter, we chat to the legend Ryan Sands. Stay there.
Sunrise snaps are prize winners. Give it your best shot on Expresso, and yours could win you one of those oh-so-chic Nespresso travel mugs. So snap your best sunrise and post it to the competition post on Expresso's Facebook page with the hashtag Nespresso Sunrise. Winners are announced Mondays on the show, and competition closes the 5th of May. So let's be seeing those morning masterpieces.
Welcome back. You are live with Expresso. Time to be inspired. Why? Because he's one of the most inspiring South African sportsmen we've been lucky enough to interview over the years. South African ultra runner Ryan Sands is living his dream of competing in long distance, very long distance races all over the globe. And of course, 8 years ago, Ryan became the first person to win all 4 races in the 4 Desert Series and was the first person to ever win an ultra trail race on all 7 continents. Now, the ultra distance runner will be running for a good cause in the Wings for Life World Run. And this morning, the Wings for Life ambassador is here to tell us a bit more about that and catch up, because it's been a moment, man.
Yes.
So, how are you during these crazy times? Are you able to run? Where are you running?
Yeah, good morning. Good to be back on the show. Yeah, luckily the mountains are open again, so I can run. Obviously, haven't been able to compete internationally yet, but I think through COVID, I've definitely learned that local is lacquer. Like, I've been able to travel to some pretty cool places around Southern Africa that probably wouldn't have done if it wasn't for COVID. So yeah, all good my side, thanks.
Yeah, you can keep stretching those muscles, and I know this has also been an opportunity for us to think about different things, put our weight behind different things, and in this case, you've chosen to back Wings for Life as one of the official ambassadors. Talk us through the race. What's the format?
Yeah, it's just such an awesome cause. I think for me, I can't imagine a day without running or being able to move. And all proceeds from Wings for Life World Run go to finding a cure for spinal cord injuries, which is super cool.
Yeah.
And the event itself is really rad. There is no finish line, or the finish line keeps...
Like your kind of race, just run forever, man.
Exactly. So the finish line actually moves, so depending on your speed, like a catcher car will catch you.
Cool.
Obviously, this year it's virtual, there's no actual physical events, but it's pretty cool. Like, you download an app and then you can run, and you kind of get talked through the whole process. And if you, depending on your speed, you can run anything from 5Ks up to, I think the top guys do about 95 kilometers. So
I'm guessing you'll be doing the 95?
I'll see, maybe somewhere in between.
But this is cool, because people can actually race against you, which is awesome. I think in light of everything, as someone who has a deep appreciation for being able to get out there and run and do what you love, I think a lot of us latched onto this. Why would you recommend people do this? Obviously, the aim is a really good cause, but there's something really cool about this event.
Yeah, I think it's just such a cool and unique event. Because basically on the 9th of May, everyone around the world starts running at the same time. So you can kind of race your mate in the UK or your friend in Australia. It's just super cool. So I think it's really like fun and quirky. And as I said, I think it's for a really good cause. And also a lot of people have asked me, like, isn't it like I haven't trained much, can I do it? But it's up to you. If you just want to run 2Ks, you can, or if you just want to walk, it's cool. You'll just get caught by the catcher car a little bit quicker.
I dig that. There's like an added level of nervousness about this, a level of competition that's really cool. And we've seen a lot of, even the comrades had a greater participation than they've ever had before by going virtual, which is, it's a sign of the times. How have you been able to stay fit, and what's next for you? When do you think you're going to be able to compete and get back on the circuit? Like, what's the prevailing plan?
Yeah, I guess just everything's pretty unknown at the moment. As I mentioned, I was hoping to get across to Europe, or kind of was hoping to be there now, but that's not the case. But actually, 2 weekends ago, I ran Ultra Trail Drakensberg 100 miler in the Drakensberg. So still running a couple of 100 milers.
Did you win?
Yes, yeah. So yeah, it went pretty well, and like I said, it's been really cool to just see different parts of the country, and then hoping to get to Europe in August for Ultra Trail Mont Blanc. So again, just playing that all by ear, and then also with Cape Town Marathon, actually collaborated with them to start the Cape Town Trail Marathon. So
beautiful,
kind of keeping busy.
Yeah, maybe this has been your opportunity to give back to this sport that gives you so much, which is fantastic. I've got a round of how can people get on board if they want to take part in Wings for Life in the World Run? What do they need to do?
It's super simple. All you got to do is go to the website, wingsforlifeworldrun.com, and sign up, and hope to see you all out there next or on Sunday and running for those who can't.
An opportunity to run further than Ryan. You can do it. He said he's only going kind of midway through. You can push up to 95. I love that, dude. Well, enjoy. Thank you for doing everything that you do. And good luck, man. I hope I'm sending out a lot of positive energy that things come right and you can get out there and start competing again.
Thanks so much.
But I'm glad to see that you're doing what you love. And if you want to do a little bit of that, wingsforlifeworldrun.com is where you can register for the race. Go and race against the best in the world, race against your best mates, and race for an unbelievably good cause.
Yeah, I think, Ryan, next time I'm joining you. I'm running against you, and I'm ready for it. But before we do that, let's make a delicious and nutritious meal that we'll need after all of that running.
Clover cheese is for those who love life, where everything falls into place and melts away our cares, adding joy and stretching our imagination. Clover, for the love of cheese.
Made with love by Clover.
Now, before you go running, if a no-fuss, one-pan, cupboard staple breakfast recipe is what you're after, then a strata is the answer. It's ultimate homemade convenience food. Essentially, it's a breakfast casserole which you can add anything to, and I love the idea of that. We've opted for a mouth-watering clover feta and pilchard breakfast strata, which you are absolutely going to love. And here to help us make it and bring it to life is one of my favorites, Teresa Alyate.
Hello.
Teresa, good morning.
How are
good
you?
morning. I'm so good. You and I were just chatting about running just now.
Yes.
You went running yesterday.
I did.
5Ks.
Yes.
And now you've got a meal as a post sort of running type of nutritious experience that you want to offer us.
Yes, fantastic breakfast. Very nutritious, very colourful, and it's going to keep you full until lunchtime, maybe beyond.
I love that.
So I'm going to start cooking our veggies, and I'm going to ask you to do some whisking for me, please.
Okay, cool. So would you like me to start over here with what we've got here?
Yes, please.
Okay, so we've got some eggs going into
our yogurt.
Our yogurt.
Yeah.
So our
pantry staples, again, very, very easy to put together.
Eggs into yogurt, some of our clover fresh milk going into that mix.
Perfect.
A pinch of pepper and salt. Or, in the right order, salt and pepper.
Perfect.
And then you want me just whisking all of this
Whisk
together?
it all together, that's great. So what I've done is I've heated up
Stop
some
laughing, Graham. And, well, yeah.
I'm softening some red onion here, and I'm going to add some courgettes, which we've cubed.
Nice.
So, also the other thing is, if you have any leftover vegetables in the fridge, you can use them in a dish like this, leftover veggies or meat, and you can make a whole nother meal out of them.
Oh, that is so great, because there often is a lot of leftover vegetables when you've cut a bit too much more than what you need
There's always
for
that
whatever
one
dish you're
leek
making.
or, you know, the 3 mushrooms that are kind of sitting there all lonely, so pop them in this dish. And you're all sorted.
Nice.
So you're going to soften all your veggies. I'm going to add some herbs. These are just dried herbs. Mix
Those are cucumbers, eh?
This is courgette.
Oh, courgette.
Yeah.
But if you were making courgettes, for example, because they're obviously quite watery, is high heat the right way to make sure that they're not going too watery in the pan there?
Yeah, a medium is usually fine. If you're worried about that, you can turn the heat up. But you don't want to burn your onions. So you just
you want to manage the heat factor there. Okay,
yes,
cool.
I'm going to pop in some pilchards as well in tomato sauce. So we've got some extra protein there, and just mix that all together, nice and easy. And this is a breakfast, but if you wanted to do this step the night before to save time in the morning, you could absolutely do that.
And let's be honest, the mornings are all about that rushing around. Sometimes you do want to make sure that you're prepped the night before. It saves you all the trouble.
Exactly.
But I love that this is such a versatile breakfast. It can be done for everyday breakfasting.
Yes,
or you can do it for the weekend when you are hosting a brunch or a breakfast at your house. So when your guests are coming through, this is something really experiential to have them enjoy.
It is.
Great.
Right.
Okay, I'm done here.
That looks perfect. Well done.
Thank you very much. A gold star for the day.
Yes, yes. Okay, so if you have an oven-proof pan, you can put this straight in the oven.
Fantastic.
Or what you're going to do is you're going to put it into your oven-proof dish. So just, oopsie, making a bit of a mess.
If it's not messy, then are you even doing anything right? That's what I say. That's my philosophy.
I like
is
that.
it? And it's actually a fact, right?
I'm going to use that, yeah.
From now on.
So look at that color, it just looks beautiful.
Mhm.
And then what we're going to do is top it with some bread cubes. So if you have any bread that's about to go stale, that's perfect for this dish.
That's great.
So we've got some ciabatta, but you could use any bread that you have, even if it's sandwich bread. That's
Fab.
perfect.
And then
Clover
ooh,
feta
it's
goes
about
on
to go
top.
rich.
Oh, feta
Rich.
makes everything better.
It does. Well, you know that you can try this recipe using clover, white cheddar, Gouda, or even feta. Anything goes, whatever you've got at your house, whatever you do like. It's nothing but elite quality and that elite taste, elite texture with clover cheese that will ensure that you get the very best results. And when I say the very best results, that's an offer and not a challenge. And you're going to love this one. It's so rich and so creamy. I love it.
So you're going to pop it in the oven for 20 minutes. You want that bread to be golden and crispy, and then top it with some extra feta before you serve it.
You can never have enough cheese. But listen, if you want to get this recipe, we've made it pretty simple for you. We've loaded it onto our website, expressoshow.com. You will find all of the ingredients you're going to need there as well. The taste, or the proof rather, is in the tasting.
Yes.
As I like to say. Teresa, this looks so, so good. Really, it's an indulgent breakfast.
It looks fantastic. You've got your protein, you've got your veggies.
All the goodness that you're looking for.
That's really good.
And of course, the cheese. You'll get nowhere without the cheese. Don't forget the cheese. Okay, I'll tell you.
Dig in.
Scrumptious.
You ready for that run now?
Not yet. I'm going to eat a lot more of this, and then I might consider running.
Fair enough.
One more time. If you forgot that website, it's expressoshow.com. The recipe is there. All the ingredients are there. But if you missed any of the steps involved and all that magic that Teresa's brought to the kitchen this morning, we've prepared this for you. Watch it.
Made with love by Clover. Only you can make my day.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso on S3, and you are just in time because now it's time to shine the light onto the brave. Season 1 and Season 2 of Sponsors of Brave brought you some amazing stories of those displaying acts of ordinary courage and compassion that puts healthcare first. Now, in partnership with Adcock Ingram OTC, we now bring you Sponsors of Brave, the Gratitude Season.
So in this new season, we pay tribute to our pharmacy heroes who have made our safety their priority during this pandemic. They've been doing such a great job. And this time, you'll have the opportunity to thank your pharmacy frontline heroes by nominating your local pharmacist, pharmacy assistant, or pharmacy who always goes the extra mile for their customers and community.
That's right. And we have some of the amazing team here to chat about this amazing initiative. Andrea Fifth, editor of Brand Studio, and Nicole Austin, spokesperson for this very exciting new season. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Morning. This is very exciting. I mean, we're on to the 3rd season. But Andrea, I'm going to start with you. Season 1 and Season 2, let's talk about the success of the Sponsors of Brave initiative.
Yeah. So Season 1 and 2 were just phenomenal in the way that they touched and reached our readers' hearts across the country. We had over 4,200 nominations, and from that we featured 22 incredible stories of frontline workers, healthcare professionals and students. Almost 18,000 votes came in, helping us choose a winner for a reader's choice. And we've been able to pay it forward, which is the incredible part of this, in giving away 50,000 Rand in scholarships and 100,000 Rand to charities, as well as many other prizes along the way. So it's been an incredible success, both for the readers and for us as Adcock Ingram and News 24.
Wow, the stats don't lie. It has been very, very successful, and now we go into Season 3.
Yes.
It's called the Gratitude Season.
Yes.
Now, besides having a new judge around, how is this season different?
So Season 1, we focused very much on healthcare professionals. Season 2, we focused on the students. And Season 3 is very much about giving the community and the people who've been impacted by pharmacists and pharmacies the opportunity and the platform to give back and say thank you themselves. So I don't want to give away all our secrets.
Okay.
But it's really an amazing season for people to give them the chance to say thank you. So that's the big difference about Season 3. It's very exciting for us.
I'm very excited for it. I mean, Nicole, you were a judge in Season 1 and Season 2, and again now with Season 3. So I'm quite excited to be joining this journey.
Yes.
But in terms of defining bravery, what does it mean for you?
Well, we're so grateful to have you coming on as a judge, and I think you guys see bravery and interview bravery every single day, and there's so many different meanings to the word bravery. I think it is defined by, taking the courage to act despite fear. And I think for healthcare workers, certainly in the past year, they have literally every single day taken action. And seeing our pharmacies and our pharmacists just unwavering, tirelessly working and supporting communities has been inspiring. That's bravery.
That is bravery, and I love how you said it. And what will you be looking for in this 3rd season?
I think that the world has been through a very dark time, and that caused everybody to be very self-focused. And what I love about Adcock Ingram OTC Sponsors of Brave is it is now creating a gratitude season. And it's cultivating this attitude of gratitude and thankfulness. And I'm excited to see communities actually celebrating and recognizing those pillars that are literally there on their street corner, perhaps. Pharmacies, pharmacists, pharmacist assistants, people that have made a difference in their life in subtle, small ways. And it's creating a consciousness in people, and this awareness, oh wait, they did something remarkable for me. Let's recognize them.
This is actually a beautiful campaign, and I know as judges, it's such an honor. Now, Zoe is about to be thrust into the judging panel.
Yes,
I would
she
love
is.
to know, what can Zoe expect besides changing her color of her hair, perhaps?
Well, there's an entire initiation
Okay, I
process,
thought so.
Zoe, and that is
I think I should go for pinks.
There we
Shades
go.
of pink.
I dressed to match the pillow. And
It's well done.
Thank you.
Well, it's working.
So what can Zoe expect being on the judging panel?
total inspiration. It is one of the greatest privileges of my life to judge on this panel. Firstly, surrounded by incredible people, Andrea Firth, Derek Watts, just such a credible panel, Palesa Tembi, and to also be inspired by the stories of everyday heroes, the people that are not always on TV that actually get to be showcased.
I love that. And Andrea, I just want to know from you, what's been the highlight being part of season 1 and season 2 and going into season 3, the gratitude season? What's been the highlight for you?
Wow, it's
a personal highlight.
It's really hard to choose. I think there's something so beautiful and inspiring about finding that story that comes in on a nomination and then following up and speaking to this person, and you speak to their colleagues and their communities and what they've done, and seeing the real impact that these people have had on people's lives. And not only that, when you speak to them, a lot of the times they don't realize. We interview people who go, oh, but I'm just helping here and I'm just helping there. And then to understand the impact that those little acts of kindness, those little acts of bravery are having is incredible. And the fact that we get to highlight what these people are doing and inspire other people around the country, hopefully, to do another little act of kindness is the beauty of this campaign.
I love
wow.
that.
Okay, you're in for a great time.
I am.
Yeah, so stay tuned because we'll also be chatting to Palesa about her experience and perhaps a guy who has carte blanche over this project as a judge in season 2. And also Palesa will tell us about what she is looking forward to in this new exciting season. So don't go anywhere. And also we got music for you, so you might as well stay there.
You might as well indeed, Carl. Now he's still chilling here with the man himself, the smooth voice that just gives us all the feels. Miguel Pregueiro is still in the building, and this time he's producing a classic. And it was only released last week Friday. Last week Friday, the song came out. It is already on one of the most popular streamers out there, and it's going to continue to flow. And we're going to bring it to you right now, live on Expresso, with the song from Miguel Pregueiro. It's called Hola. Take it away.
Let's do it. Started at a party on a summer night, moving our bodies, yes, she was naughty, but that's my type, I love them nasty. She told me how she wanted me to spend the night, driving her crazy, you couldn't blame me, all that's on my mind. Oh baby, I want you, hold you close, yeah, I need you, will you in while I tease you, vamos a bailar. Oh baby, I want you, hold you close, yeah, I need you, will you in while I tease you, to get te gustará. So I said, ay, hola, hola, mi señora, así que ¿cómo estás? So I said, ay, mamacita, tan bonita, eres perfecta. So the rhythm of the music made us intertwine, body be shaking, we misbehaving, we caught in time, give me your body, and everything about it made me feel alive, driving me crazy, you couldn't blame me, all that's on my mind. Oh baby, I want you, hold you close, yeah, I need you, will you in while I tease you, vamos a bailar. Oh baby, I want you, hold you close, yeah, I need you, will you in while I tease you, to get te gustará. So I said, ay, hola, hola, mi señora, así que ¿cómo estás? So I said, ay, mamacita, tan bonita, eres perfecta. Hold you close, yeah, I need you. Will you in while I tease you? To get te gustará. So I said, ay, Hola, hola, mi señora, así que ¿cómo está? Eso hace, ay, 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 ay. Mamacita, tan bonita, eres perfecta.
Ay, 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 mamacita. Miguel Pregueiro obviously giving us the chills. The ladies here, the jaws have dropped, man. You better be careful with yourself. And of course, you and Zanzi don't go anywhere. We've got more Miguel coming up right after this. We'll see you soon.
Strap yourself in to this hand-built 5-liter sedan. An engineering marvel that could drive your spend into the red. Accelerating your lifestyle beyond your means. In this world of chasing status, do you want a bank that takes your money or a bank that takes your money seriously?
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso here in S3, and I want you to open up to something very special. It's time to rally together to celebrate our pharmacy heroes who have made our safety their priority during this global pandemic and beyond. We're back with the one and only Palesa and Tembi, sponsors of Brave Season 3 Judge, to find out more about this exciting campaign. I should actually say SAFTA nominee as well in there, right?
You should.
I should throw that in there, yeah, that's right.
You know what? Trust your family to make you blush on TV.
Yeah, that's right.
Guys, thank you so much. Thank you to everyone in the entire team. I mean, life-changing stuff.
It is life-changing, and I mean, sponsors of Brave is also life-changing, putting a spotlight on our brave heroes. And Palesa, you were a judge in season 2, and you were again for season 3. How was it for you being part of season 2?
Season 2 was extraordinary. It was like nothing I've ever seen before, because a lot of times, you know, people tend to highlight the glamour of being a doctor, the glamour of being a nurse, and a lot of the times, pharmacists are overlooked for some reason. So it was was just so incredible to be able to not only highlight pharmacists, but those coming up, you know, the new generation, the next generation of Brave. And I think that that was what was so special. The students that are being mentored by incredible people also making waves in that industry, I think was so special to see, to watch. The partnership, that duality touched me, yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to being part of the judging season 3. What do you hope, can I ask you, like, what do you hope to see with the season?
Oh, good question. Yeah. I want to see goosebump, you know, shivers down my spine type of touching stories of pharmacists who've truly gone into their communities and not only just stuck behind a counter, but have gone into the community, that have got into the lives of those that they serve every single day, fearlessly, and especially through this pandemic. I think that it's been now more than ever important to just salute those that don't wear the capes every day.
That's true.
Okay, so when it comes to saluting, I mean, we can go in there and say, oh, we love you, pharmacy assistant, we love you, pharmacist, we love you, pharmacy. However, Nicole, just from your side, why is this so important for us to sort of get behind the campaign? More importantly, to actually vote for these incredible pivots of our community, these pharmacies and pharmacy assistants and pharmacists?
Well, I mean, think about it. When we were little, a long, long time ago,
very long
we
time.
grew up knowing our pharmacist's name, and it was an integral part of our lives. And yes, things have become busy, and maybe PPE has also made things a little bit more complicated. But there are still humans there that are really caring. And I think this is such a great sentiment to pull everybody back together and remind people that community is everything. The people around you are everything. And it's really simple to do, and you can actually win by nominating yourself or your local pharmacist.
I love that. I mean, I'm someone that when I feel like a niggle in the throat or something doesn't feel right, I go to my pharmacy first before calling the doctor. And they've really been such a, like, you trust them. And I think this is what's going to be beautiful that the season of Sponsors of Brave will highlight, is how you can trust your pharmacy, your pharmacist, and really just the people behind the counter.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm a pharmacist by background, and I romanticize that part of pharmacy always. And that tireless effort that they're putting in needs to be recognized. And literally just by nominating somebody to be recognized and showered with gratitude through the process, you can actually win 5,000 Rand as a viewer.
That is exciting. Now, ladies, don't go anywhere, because before we wrap up this conversation, we have a special message from Derek Watts, who is also a judge for this exciting new season.
Hi, my name's Derek Watts, and I present a light entertainment program on Sunday nights. Seriously, campaigns come and go, and not many of them stay, and even have more seasons than some soaps and telenovelas. But Adcock Ingram OTC's Sponsors of Brave hasn't just lasted the course, it's growing and making even more of a difference. Now why? Because it's a project that is there for you and me, and highlights what is good in South Africa, and how many healthcare professionals, young and old, do just that. They care. So far, we have acknowledged and rewarded brave and professional journalists. Then our healthcare workers and the new generation, those studying or recently graduated. And along the way, the winners have also been awarded major cash sponsorships to further their careers and gain some security in these tight COVID times. And now it's the time for the gratitude season, when we celebrate our pharmacy heroes who've looked after us throughout the pandemic, going right back to the early days of lockdown. It's another Sponsors of Brave season that really comes at the right time, when complacency might be starting to set in, and we need to be reminded of how quickly the virus can spread again, like sadly in India. So it's a call for you to get involved, to nominate your pharmacy or pharmacist or assistant who is offering exceptional service to protect you, to keep our country safe. And there are, of course, those 8 prizes of 5,000 Rand for you to win. I'm really proud to be an ambassador and judge of Adcock Ingram OTC's Sponsors of Brave, and look forward to checking out your nominations. Cheers for now.
A special message from Derek Watts, also one of the judges for this new exciting season of Sponsors of Brave. Now, what an amazing initiative, and I'm so excited to be part of this journey. I have to say thank you to Nicole, thank you Palesa for shedding some light of what the past seasons were like and what the new season we're hoping for.
Yeah, I know it's going to be a beautiful one, I can guarantee. And obviously, the judge, you're in for a good time. And who knows, maybe even a different hair color. Thanks, Nicole. So you can vote for your local pharmacist or pharmacy and stand a chance to win one of 8 5,000 Rand cash prizes. The 2 lucky final winners from our nominees stand the chance to win 25,000 Rand towards pursuing a passion project of their choice.
So to nominate, go to partners.24.com/sponsors of brave/nominations. And we wish you the best of luck.
Calling all South Africans to the frontline. It's time to rally together to celebrate our bold pharmacy heroes who have put our safety on the top of their priority lists in 2020 and 2021. Join Adcock Ingram OTC's new season of Sponsors of Brave in showing our gratitude and thanking our pharmacy frontline heroes by nominating your local pharmacist, pharmacy assistant, or pharmacy who have gone the extra mile for all their customers. Nominate your local small pharmacy, retail pharmacy, or pharmacist who have shown what it means to be a frontline hero. By nominating your colleague, pharmacist, or yourself, you could stand a chance to win one of 8 5,000 Rand cash prizes. 2 of these featured nominees will win an exciting opportunity to pursue a passion project of their choice. 1 chosen by the votes, and 1 chosen by the Adcock Ingram OTC's Sponsors of Brave panel of judges. A passion project is the opportunity to give back to the community to the value of 25,000 Rand. Show some gratitude today with Adcock Ingram OTC's Sponsors of Brave.
Could you hear that? That was my heart beating for my mother. Okay, because it's Mother's Day. You know who else is brave and deserves to be celebrated? Our moms, every mom, our motherly figures, those people that we've relied on so much. Mother's Day and breakfast go hand in hand, so make your mom a good breakfast feast fit for a queen. What better way to show you love them by adding an avo, a source of nutrients and, of course, absolutely delicious as well. Goes beautifully with egg, one of the best pairings in the world. So for those feeling a bit more adventurous, and if you want to be the favorite child forever, ever, ever, prepare an avo shakshuka with avocado harissa yogurts. Teresa,
hi.
Come on.
This is good.
You're a mom. Will someone make this for you on Mother's Day, or are you going to have to get up and make it for yourself?
Hoping after today they'll get the
They'll pick up on.
So I love shakshuka.
I love shakshuka as well. I love egg, and because my poor mom, I've inflicted her to I'll go and make her like an awful omelette. And this is me as like a 9-year-old, an awful omelette, and I'll take like twigs from outside and put it on the thing to make it look pretty, and she's like sitting here, it's lovely, thanks, Grant. So I've put her through a lot of bad breakfasts. Let's see if we can turn that around.
We'll sort that out.
Shakshuka is awesome.
Oh, it's amazing. Okay, so I'm going to get everything on the go here.
Okay.
So we've got some onion here and a bit of garlic.
Nice.
So we're going to soften that. This is such a great Mother's Day breakfast.
And it's something slightly different, but it's flavor, and it's quite creative. You know,
Very
it's
much
something
so.
different.
And you can customize it as well. I mean, the avo is a fantastic addition.
Very
You could
much
add
so.
spinach, you could add different cheeses. Really, really delicious. So I've added some turmeric and some paprika.
Okay.
We do have a bit of heat in this dish.
Yeah, flavor.
Really delicious.
But it's more of a spice than it is a hot heat. You know, it's layers of flavor, which really works.
Absolutely delicious. I've also added some diced peppers. So we've used red and yellow pepper. And I'm going to ask you to make our harissa yogurt for us, if you don't mind.
Not at all.
Oh, this smells so good. And you know, this isn't too difficult to put together, but if you are a little bit worried about your skills, you could even do something like an avo on toast.
Yeah.
Smashed avo with a bit of coriander,
it's
a
healthy,
bit of lemon,
and
a bit of chili. Yeah, very, very nutrient dense, which is also great for the mums to be. You know, if you're an expecting mother, it's such a great thing to add to your diet.
Oh,
How are you doing there?
It's coming along. It's a little
That
bit
looks
of
good.
A little bit green, but we'll make it work.
Yes. All right, so I've added a tin of chopped tomatoes. I'm also going to add some tomato puree
Yeah, it's coming along nicely.
and a little bit of water. So this is the base of our shakshuka. I'm also going to add a bit of sugar just to balance out that
The
acidity.
tomato, okay.
And a bit of salt and pepper as well. Oh, that's looking good.
And I think I like with my smashed avo like a bit more chunky. There we go.
Yeah, nice to have a
Just
bit
have
of
a bit of texture, yeah.
You know what I also
Yeah.
love about this dish is it's basically just the one pan and then your bowl for the yogurt, so there's less washing up
Okay, so I'm mixing the avo, the yogurt, and the harissa paste
and the
together.
harissa paste all together, yeah.
Beautiful.
That's great. And a fantastic family meal. If you're having a brunch on Sunday, you can make it for everybody, serve it with a little bit of bread, and it's really hearty and filling.
Make the bread. Come on, it's Mother's Day. Make the bread.
Oh, that's quite a quite a big ask. Okay, right, so what you want to do is once all your tomato and everything is in, you want to let that simmer for about 20 minutes and get lovely and thick so it can hold the eggs in place.
Oh, this is going to be lovely. I'm going to have a little taste.
Oh, that looks fantastic. You're going to give it a try. Do you need a bit of salt there? That looks good.
Oh, that's lovely.
So while your sauce is simmering, you can then do your yogurt and get it ready.
Beautiful.
Fantastic. Such a wholesome breakfast, isn't it?
I love it, and it's a little kind of flavor exploration as you go through it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I love egg, complements so many things. Egg and avo, absolute win.
Winner.
But you have this kind of spicy flavor profile with the egg, and you keep that egg just a little bit soft so that yolk can run through. And, oh, absolutely delicious.
So I'm going to give this a go. Obviously, you would cook it until it's a little bit thicker. So, but we'll give this a try.
This is the exciting part.
This is the fun part. So what you want to do is take your spoon and just make a little indentation
Make a
in
little trough,
your sauce. And then you're just going to gently break your egg into the sauce. A lot of fun.
Oh, that's
Will you
so
try this with the
cool.
kids, do you think?
I
Do you think it'll...
undoubtedly will. Now, already, like Jack has learned how to crack an egg. It gets messy,
Excellent.
but
Yeah,
it's cool.
they must learn.
And yeah, there's vitamins in the shell, I've heard, so it's fine. No, that's not
Extra
true.
fiber.
That's not true. Teresa, here's a funny fact. And incidentally, you can find this recipe on expressoshow.com, so you can practice it maybe once or twice before you serve it to mom. But you know that the avocado cultivation predates the wheel.
That's amazing.
That's how long we as a species have loved avocado.
That's
over
incredible.
10,000 years, since the ancient Mayans.
Yes,
the
yes.
Aztecs grew avocados. So if it was good enough for Aztec royalty, it's good enough for royalty in your home. And Mama is a queen. So please get onto expressoshow.com and get this recipe and make it,
Yeah, so eggs are in, you're going to cover it and leave it until the eggs are cooked through. So I usually leave it about 5 minutes, but cook it to your liking. And then top it off with your yogurt, some extra avo slices. Beautiful, beautiful breakfast. I think everyone should definitely make this on Sunday.
Oh, I love it. And I love the idea of just digging in with a nice piece of bread and just, wow, man, don't use utensils, use your hands, use bread. Teresa, absolutely delicious. Local avos are in season now, so get on it no matter what mom is getting for breakfast. Add an avo. For more information and avo recipes, some inspiration, you can go to avocado.co.za or you can like at I love avocado sa.co.za on Facebook and then follow at I love avo sa on Instagram. Every platform will have a host of really cool recipes, but I suggest you start with this one on Mother's Day. And happy Mother's Day!
Thank you.
Add an avo, nurtured in South Africa.
takes his girlfriend out to propose to her.
Smooth.
He opens the box to give her the diamond ring and drops it.
Not smooth.
Still on his knees, he hears her saying,
Yes, Denzel.
I do.
Nothing smoother.
Tropica.
Made with love by Clover.
Nothing smoother. So last week we showed you some of the smooth moves of presenters and something that we've been able to offer on the dance floor, and we often do. We like to move on the show. And since you asked, we listened to your request for a smooth presented dance battle with our guests. Are you ready? So Miguel has stuck around. Beautiful performances. Great to see you live, man. Okay, but someone who is so melodic and can feel the music, okay? You got to be a smooth dancer, surely.
Oh, that's questionable.
Does this make you terrified?
It does.
Good.
I'm just not ready for what's
I'm sure he's got some
ready,
classical,
man.
like Latin dance training.
So you've proven yourself to have the moves, my friend, but now it's time to deliver. The fans, the viewers, the most important people on the show
Indeed.
have asked. Okay. And you will deliver, my friend.
Will I?
You will, okay.
Will I?
You've got 30 seconds each to deliver the smoothest dance.
Oh, wow.
And our viewers laugh more with an evil tone, right?
Oh, this is tough.
I know. It's hectic, dude. This is real, man.
Let's make it happen.
All
Can
right,
we go
are you
in
ready?
order of hair length?
Of hair height. if you had a top knot.
The top knot would have been
then
one,
it would have
yeah.
been right. No, but I'm going to let you set the tone, Mamu, because you are so good at what you do, okay?
I thought guests first. I mean, that makes sense, right? Oh, my
Are you
goodness.
ready? So
Do you want me to just be on the chair here? Or...
Well, you can use the prop if you want.
What type of music do you
3,
got for me?
2, 1, Mr. DJ, rock and roll. Eight, 7, 6. Oh no, you did it!
I must have stopped that.
2, 1.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I blacked out. What happened?
Oh, gosh.
Miguel, my friend, this is either going to make or break your career, buddy.
Take it off. Take.
1,
Sorry.
Mr. DJ, rock and roll.
That's the same song.
Yes. Hey! Hey!
Okay, wait.
Take it off! Take it off! Yes! Yes!
Okay. We got it. Now, hey.
All right. Hola!
This is my favorite move, though.
Yes. Hey!
Oh, ladies, get up.
Aina! Get down! Hola! Pregueiro!
Oh, senor.
Yes, yes.
Senor.
Take it, Tropica!
Come with me, my friend. Come around, my friend. Oh, qué bonito.
Hey, bonito!
Beautiful, man. Beautiful.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my word.
Oh, that was lovely,
I promised
guys.
I wouldn't take the head down.
I did. I'm so happy you did.
Oh, man. Can you let your hair down, Cole?
I was trying. I flicked around. It didn't work.
You guys, you both sparkled. That was lovely. Well done.
We
Absolutely
sparkled.
beautiful. You can let us know on our social media pages who was the
Oh, my word.
dancer this morning. Hopefully by the end of the show we'll be able to find out who is the ultimate winner. Will his hair hold sway? I feel like this is going to be a battle of the hair.
It is.
Today.
It is.
So do you like it upstanding?
Or soft and supple flowing down.
Soft and flowy. It's up to you. You can let us know on the Expresso Morning Show Facebook page. Can I get a round of applause?
Thank you.
This guy's amazing.
Girlfriend out to propose to her.
Smooth.
He opens the box to give her the diamond ring and drops it.
Not smooth.
Still on his knees, he hears her saying,
Yes, Denzel.
I do.
Nothing smoother.
Made
Tropica.
with love by Clover.
That was absolutely amazing. Well, it's now 2 minutes after 8. Let's quickly take a final look at your morning headlines, starting with national news. Prime Minister to the Zulu nation, Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi, has expressed concern about the public spats within the Zulu royal family following the passing of AmaZulu King Goodwill Zwelithini and his third wife, Queen Mantfombi Dlamini Zulu. Queen Sibongile Dlamini Zulu claims she was married to the late king in community of property property and therefore is entitled to 50% of all his assets. And her daughters are challenging the authenticity of the late monarch's will. Meanwhile, the late Queen will be laid to rest at Nongoma in the northern KwaZulu-Natal on Thursday. And staying with local news, police took up positions around the Cape Town Magistrates Court yesterday ahead of the appearance of alleged underworld figure Nafis Modak. Modak was arrested last Thursday and spent the weekend in police custody. Police Minister Becky Cele also attended the court proceedings yesterday. Modak's appearance is related to the death of Anti-Gang Unit Section Commander Lieutenant Colonel Charles Kinya, who died in a suspected hit outside his home in Bishop Lavis on September 18th last year. Charges also relate to an attempted hit on Cape Town lawyer William Booth. And moving to news abroad, Nigeria will ban entry to non-Nigerian passengers who have been in Brazil, India or Turkey in the last fortnight due to concerns over the spread of the coronavirus in those three nations. Nigerians and permanent residents who have been in those countries in the last 14 days will have to undergo mandatory quarantine of a week. All passengers arriving in Nigeria will now have to produce a negative COVID-19 test taken within 72 hours of travel. Nigeria has reported just over 165,000 cases of the coronavirus and 2,063 deaths. And India has postponed exams for trainee doctors and nurses, freeing them to fight the world's biggest surge in coronavirus infections. The number of infections has risen to just short of 20 million after a 12th straight day of more than 300,000 new cases. Medical experts say actual numbers in India could be 5 to 10 times higher than reported. Hospitals are full of supplies of medical oxygen have run short. Patients are dying in hospital beds, in ambulances and in car parks. And next, 5 mothers who took on a tremendous task. As a mother from Bloemfontein born, Kumo Tapfunyeni noticed the scarcity of children's books that celebrated Black Pride. After engaging with 5 other moms, she found that in mainstream bookstores, there weren't many books in own languages. So the 5 decided to take children's literature into their own hands and affirm children through diverse reading material. The online bookstore Ethnic Kids was the result. The founders wished to gain access to stories that represent experiences which are relatable to Black youth. They uncovered that a great deal of African literature was inaccessible as local authors were self-publishing and independently selling their work. What began as a side hustle by collecting these books and shipping them to subscribers morphed into an ambitious business venture. Today, Ethnic Kids hosts a collection of children's literature written by local and international authors in SA's 11 official languages. Kumor says exposing children to books written in their mother tongue not only improves their engagement in reading and education, but builds their self-esteem. She adds, and I quote, "Reading is so liberating, it has the power to manifest self-assured adults, leaders, and game changers." Well, on that positive note, that's where I leave your morning headlines. Here's a final look at your sport.
Thanks so much, though. Let's start with tennis news, and going from strength to strength, South African tennis sensation Lloyd Harris has now advanced to the second round of the Madrid Open after seeing off Bulgaria's Grigor Dimitrov in 3 sets. The world number 54 beat the 13th seed 6-3, 3-6, 7-6. Major scalps he's been claiming. Harris will face the 22-year-old Australian Alex de Minaur in round 2 later tonight. And then, unfortunately, COVID affecting rugby. The third Varsity Cup bubble in Tshwane has been pushed out by 1 week. The Varsity Cup board made the decision to postpone the next bubble after the 3 of the UP Tuks players tested positive for the coronavirus. That was ahead of their clash against log leaders UCT's Ikes last week. The tournament will now resume on Monday, the 17th of May, with round 7, and the Varsity Cup final will take place on the 31st of May. Then COVID playing a hand in the IPL as well. The Indian Premier League match between the Kolkata Knight Riders and Royal Challengers Bangalore has now been postponed due to positive COVID-19 tests. The match was scheduled to take place yesterday yesterday in Ahmedabad, but KKR players Varun Chakravarthi and Sandeep Warrier, they both tested positive for the virus. There's one IPL match scheduled for today, and it should go ahead. That's the Sunrisers Hyderabad up against the Mumbai Indians at 4 p.m. Well, that's a wrap of your sport for this morning. Let's get one last look at some of your beautiful sunrise pictures and the weather.
Thank you, Graham, and we are sending a big thanks to all of our viewers that have so enthusiastically stepped up to share their beautiful sunrise photos with us. We started the morning off with this beautiful ocean view from Jason Sauer from Muizenberg in Cape Town. Jess Wright, Mike's brother, well, sister rather, from Limpopo also shared this great image of the sun rising on the horizon. Nancy Govender from Pennington was showing off her photography skills yet again with this glorious sunrise over the ocean. And last but not least, Ridwan Hassan from Ravensmead in Cape Town shared this beautiful silhouetted image with the sun rising in the distance. Now, if you would like to share your sunrise photo with us, just head on over to the Expresso Facebook page and don't forget to include your location so that we can provide you with a brief weather update for your area. And while we're enjoying our experiencing a sunrise from your parts of South Africa, we do have some international viewers tuning in on both YouTube and the Africa channel in the US. This morning we report on the weather from Charleston, West Virginia. Once a frontier town, today Charleston is the historic, sophisticated capital of West Virginia and home to a variety of exciting cultural and recreational attractions. Now, the state capital, with its gleaming 23-karat gold dome and classic 20th century architecture, is truly a sight to see. Today will be cloudy and humid with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm. The maximum temperature for Charleston today will be 25 degrees Celsius. And some news for you. Climate change has won big in Germany. The country's High Court has ruled that Germany's climate change laws are insufficient and violate fundamental freedoms by putting the burden of curbing CO2 emissions on the youth. It says the law fails to supply sufficient details on cutting CO2 emissions after current targets end in 2030. The government will now have to revise the law before the end of next year. The decision comes a week after the European Union unveiled ambitious new climate change targets. Under the law, which was agreed between member states and the European Parliament, the bloc will cut carbon emissions by at least 55% by the year 2030, compared to 1990 levels. Now, the German High Court ruling partially upheld complaints brought by climate change activists, most of them young and environmental groups between 2018 and 2020. German climate activist Luisa Neubauer of the Friday of Future movement and one of the plaintiffs in the case described the decision as a huge win for the climate movement. And one of the lawyers involved in the case, Felix Eckart, hailed it as a groundbreaking victory. Well, on that note, let's quickly look at your temperatures one last time here in South Africa. If you're in Polokwane, a low of 9 and a high of 22 can be expected. A sunny day in Mbombela with a low of 12, a high of 26. Pretoria 9, 23. Johannesburg sunny, reaching a high of 21. Mahikeng 6, 23. Klerksdorp sunny with a high of 24. Kimberley 8, reaching a high of 23. Partly cloudy conditions in Bloemfontein with a high of 22. Richards Bay expect a low of 14 and a high of 25. If you're in Pietermaritzburg, expect a low of 10, a high of 26, and sunny conditions in Durban, a low of 16 with a high of 24. Mthatha 8, reaching a high of 28. East London 14 with a high of 26. Partly cloudy conditions in Cradock, a low of 7, a high of 27. Gqeberha 15, reaching a high of 24. Partly cloudy conditions in George, 14's your low, 22 your high. Cape Town 16, reaching a high of 26. If you're in Worcester today, 10 is your low, 27 your high. Sutherland 5, reaching a high of 20. And sunny conditions in Uppington today with a low of 14 and a high of 28 degrees Celsius. Please send those sunrise photos through to the Expresso Facebook page, and that's where I leave your traffic and, in fact, your weather for this morning.
Thank you so much. So now we are back once again, and we've got one more epic performance on the stage right now. Expresso's stage has the man himself, the Portuguese, Spanish singer and songwriter Miguel Pregueiro, and he's going to take us away again with one of his latest singles that was released last week. It should be on streamers very soon. Watch out for it. And the name is Loco. Take it away, brother.
Woke up inside, feeling alive, burning the pages that we bought the night. Open my mind, slowly divide reasons we hid from the love that we made. Yeah, never wanted you to forget. Take you back to when we first met. For one last time, let's go. Let's get loco, loco, loco. Solo poco, poco, poco. Got me wishing for one more night. So let's get loco, loco, loco. Solo poco, poco, poco. Move your body with me tonight. La 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 la, loco, loco, loco. 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 I can't survive, promise I try. Thinking of others, but you are my life. Help me revive, it hasn't died. Love that we shared and the memories made, yeah. Never wanted you to forget. Take you back to when we first met. For one last time, let's go. Let's get loco, loco, loco. Solo poco, poco, poco. Got me wishing for one more night. So let's get loco, loco, loco. Solo poco, poco, poco. Move your body with me tonight. La 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 la, loco, loco, loco. 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 So let's get loco, loco, loco. Solo un poco, poco, poco. Got me wishing for one more night. So let's get loco, loco, loco. Solo un poco, poco, poco. Move your body with me tonight. La 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 la, loco, loco, loco. 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 So let's get loco, loco, loco. Solo poco, poco, poco. Got me wishing for one more night, one more night. So let's get loco, loco, loco. Solo poco, poco, poco. Move your body with me tonight.
Yes, man. Brother's got us all feeling so loco in the studio. I can't thank you enough for being with us this morning. It's been an absolute pleasure. And hearing these new singles, brother, absolute fire. Well, wishing the rest of luck, the best of luck for Miguel as he continues with his incredible music career. We're hoping that you get a chance to hear some more of these songs. Hope you get to jam through it throughout the week, because I know we will. And brother, thank you again, man.
Thank you, thank you.
Stick around for some more.
Welcome back to Feel Good Breakfast Show. Expresso here in S3, and from today to the 9th of May, we will be observing Deaf Awareness Week. Now, the purpose of this week is to educate the public on deafness, hearing loss, deaf culture, and sign language as organizations have various events. Now, this morning, ear, nose, and throat specialist Dr. Shabir Ibrahim joins us in the studio to talk us through the topic of hearing loss. Welcome.
Thanks, guys. Thank you for having me.
Dr. Shabir, so good to have you. Well, if you have any questions and comments to add onto today's show, we invite you to get in touch with us, 021-110-555-2, as we embark on this very, very important conversation that's going on. And I'm so happy, Dr. Shabir, that we are dedicating a period during this month to really just shine the spotlight on this conversation, right? Because it's very little understood. Yeah. What causes hearing loss? Let's start there.
Okay, so it's important basically to firstly understand the mechanism of hearing.
Yeah,
the sound comes through, goes through the ear canal, hits the eardrum, moves the little bones through the inner ear, through the nerve to the brain. So if we get that little pathway on...
It's a journey.
It's a journey, yes.
Yeah.
So anywhere along that pathway, something could happen. So as simple as a little bit of wax in your ear canal can affect your hearing. And then we move on to the eardrum. There could be something wrong with the eardrum, a hole. There could be fluid in the ear. So all of this that affects the conduction of sound is generally called a conductive hearing loss. And then you could have problems with the inner ear, the cochlea, the hair cells, particularly people who are exposed to loud noises, etc. That's of interest to them. And diseases that can affect the inner ear. And then there are diseases that can affect the nerve and the brain as well. So the causes are multiple, and it's important to identify where along the chain the problem lies.
Wow, yes.
So how common is hearing loss? Because, I mean, you don't find it in sort of the industry. I know that we are always subject to wearing earpieces, but no one's really speaking about it. So how common is it?
So no one's really speaking about it, but in South Africa, I've looked at the research. They estimated there are about 10 million people who have hearing or hearing problems. And of that 10 million people, basically only 2% actually seek help. And usually the older people. And of that 2%, maybe 7% actually get something done about it.
It's a stigma, isn't it a stigma?
It
you know, it's kind of like only...
sound like it.
Yeah.
Because you think only old people will suffer hearing loss.
Absolutely.
But the thing is, there are many ways to be able to identify or to be able to pick up if someone is experiencing hearing loss. And I think sometimes we can be able to pick that up ourselves. For example, if you're constantly having to hear, to say sorry or say that again to someone when they say something, that is probably one of them. But what are the other ways of detecting hearing loss?
Again, basically, we need to look at the ages. Okay, so if we look at the very young, obviously, as a baby, the parents may detect that he's not responding to a loud noise, or as you get older, the language development is delayed. Those are the warning signs. Maybe the kid should have his hearing tested. So I'm just going very briefly through. And as you get language development is affected. It can affect the interaction with peers. They become isolated, withdrawn. It can affect your self-esteem, and this can apply to all age groups. So as you get older, as an older person, you're unable to follow conversation, so you tend to get withdrawn, you tend to get depressed, especially if the TV's on, you can't follow a conversation. You're slightly embarrassed to talk about it, and no one has actually spoken about it, so you haven't sought help. And eventually we see it with older people, they just get withdrawn and they get into their own world.
So I think the big question is if you can give us some fast tips on the prevention of hearing loss, because I think everybody needs to hear this because it can affect anybody.
Okay, so firstly, if you're worried about your hearing or someone's hearing, have it tested. Have it tested. You need a baseline to see if there's a problem. And there's qualified audiologists out there, ENTs, who will be able to help you with that. What's important, especially people in your industry as well, is we can't emphasize the importance of reducing your exposure to loud noises. Okay. In today, where every kid, every person has got an earphone in the ear, what exactly is loud? Well, it's subjective. You know, you need it tested. If you have a problem with your ear, seek help. That's the bottom line.
And there are small things that we can do on a daily basis to try and manage that. I mean, the number of times I have sat next to someone and I can hear the music coming out of their headset, from 3 people away. You can hear it, then you know there's certainly a problem, or you are going to cause a problem. Please do stay tuned to your Feel Good Breakfast show this morning. Ear, nose and throat specialist, our guest this morning, Dr. Shabir Ibrahim, is answering more questions on hearing loss and deafness after this. 021 110 552.
Our kind of exploration of Deaf Awareness Week, and it's amazing to hear what the doctor has said in terms of how prevalent deafness is in our country. I used to do a lot of work with Deaf TV and absolutely love to see how deaf culture supports their own, but maybe the whole country needs to get on board and understand. So that's why we posed to you this morning this question: do you think sign language should be taught at schools, and if so, why? And we dying to actually find out what you guys have to say.
So let's look at the comments that's been coming through. Ilza says yes, yes, and yes again. I had to assist a deaf lady before and it was difficult. We had to communicate by writing in the book what she was looking for. In the end, she was at the wrong municipality and I felt like a failure because I couldn't do much sign language except for signing my name to her. It should definitely be made mandatory at businesses too, especially public entities and services. I love that viewpoint.
Yeah, Ilza, you have smashed it right, nail on the head. That is brilliant. Let's see what Eleanor Mart has to say. Yes, because that child could be in danger. Then he or she can communicate through sign language. It's difficult to understand if you don't know sign language. We have a child who only has to talk sign language, and most of the time we don't know what we are talking about. Most of the young people these days make fun of these children, but that's the only language they understand. So I should say a big yes.
Feels like all round there's just yeses coming through. So if you would love to weigh in whether you think that sign language should be part of the schools, please weigh in on that conversation. It's happening on our Expresso Facebook page, and don't forget that hashtag Expresso Show.
Welcome back, you beautiful people. It is your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso. We're live here on S3. It's a Tuesday morning and we're talking health. Continuing with our health discussion this morning, ear, nose and throat specialist, I'm talking about Dr. Shabir Ibrahim, is still with us and will be telling us which treatment options are available for hearing loss and also explaining what exactly tinnitus or tinnitus. Tinnitus. We'll find out exactly how to pronounce it, what it is. If you've never heard of it, like I have never heard of it, we'll get to know now. Doctor, thanks for staying with us.
Thanks.
What is the word?
Tinnitus.
Tinnitus, that's it.
Tinnitus is a sound that one hears in the ear, and it's subjective, and it's not originating from external. So there can be a number of various, people often describe it as a buzzing sound.
Yes.
But it's very important to see that you could get a humming sound, you could get a pulsing sound.
Okay.
And without going into too many details, tinnitus needs to be investigated. We generally divide it up into pulsatile and non-pulsatile. Pulsatile is generally, I regard as a more dangerous type. So the main thing is identifying the cause. But number one of the main causes of tinnitus is actually medication. And aspirin seems to be one of the main things that can cause a tinnitus.
Oh, wow.
And tinnitus can be associated with a hearing loss as well.
Something to think about.
It is indeed. And when it comes to some of the options around treating hearing loss, what do those look like for anybody who seems to be suffering at the moment?
Absolutely. So firstly, identifying the cause. Generally, the conductive causes, the causes that affect the mechanism of sound to the ear, they generally can be overcome. You remove the wax, you can fix up an eardrum, remove fluid from the ear, etc. When we come to the nerve, generally, the hair cells, the nerve, the hearing loss can be more of a permanent hearing loss. But it's a point that I'd like to highlight. It's very important to identify the hearing loss. And if you need a hearing aid, you get a hearing aid. Because the hearing aid doesn't only help improve the hearing, but believe it or not, it helps the degeneration of hearing.
Oh, okay. So it's not just at the end of the spectrum, it could be along the way.
Degeneration, because if you do not have the hearing aid, then you do not have the sound input to the brain, and basically the hearing aid prevents the further degeneration. And also in older people, if you get degeneration, it affects your cognitive ability as well.
Yes.
So the hearing aid is very important, not only in improving the hearing, but also to prevent further hearing deterioration.
Doctor, it sounds like there's a broad spectrum of sort of hearing challenges that you could be dealing with here. Are there varying degrees, just as what I'm picking up, it sounds like there are, of hearing loss, where you are on the onset of hearing loss, and then maybe you're in the middle along the way, and now you completely have lost your hearing?
Of course, scientifically, we divide it up. We can divide it up into mild, moderate, severe. But I look at it differently. I see how is the hearing loss affecting you? Okay. I can tell you your hearing loss is mild, but for you, it's not a mild problem, and you should maybe seek help. You should maybe, if your hearing is a moderate, I'm not just looking at the figures, I'm telling you how does it affect your life, and what are we going to do to improve your hearing so that your quality of life and your interaction is better with people. So it's very important not to look at the figures, but to look at the person.
Each individual.
So, Doctor, there's a big contentious issue. And I think when it comes to personal hygiene, we all have it all figured out. However, removing earwax from one's ear is hugely contentious because a lot of us are doing it incorrectly. Please shed some light.
It was coming.
I know, it had to come through. It had to.
It's a common one, right?
So, ENTs often say the only thing that you could put in your ear is your elbow. Okay. So
in other words,
people
don't put anything in.
people often think that earwax is a dirty thing, but earwax is actually a good thing, and people are obsessed with earwax, the color, etc. So I always say God has designed the ear perfectly. He doesn't need your help. You can sometimes soften the wax and wipe out the outside, but you shouldn't be putting anything into your ear because all you do is force it onto the eardrum, and sooner or later it's going to block up your ear or cause problems. So stay away from your ear and you'll stay away from me.
Okay.
Wow.
Here we go.
Okay, well,
yes,
next time I try this, don't worry, it's not coming for your ear. Dr. Shabir Ibrahim, thank you very much. You've shared such incredible knowledge this morning, and I think you've really just sparked something in everyone. We're all going to be taking our hearing a lot more seriously, hopefully, and as we commemorate this week of, obviously, awareness, we're able to go out there, examine our own hearing, but also look at what we can do if we have any challenges. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you so much.
Do stay tuned as we're joined by Michael Denton Swats, who shares his remarkable story. It's a story you are going to want to hear. We'll see you just now.
Thank you so much, Jen. Such valuable information coming through there. Now, if you are looking for something a little bit different and something to warm the belly and maybe even breakfast in bed, then we've got the answer for you, because I'm joined by Teresa Oyate once again. We're doing something delicious, chewy wedges. We've got cranberry, we've got apple, and we've got everything you need to warm that belly and keep it that way right throughout this winter. And I am so excited. It looks so good. You've got some awesome ingredients.
I know, and it's kind of like an apple pie. It's got that flavor, but a lot more wholesome, which I really, really love.
All right, so take me through this, because I think this is going to be something I'm adding to my weekly meal list. This looks good.
Okay, well, I've got some oats here. I'm going to add some bran.
Okay, nice.
And
some good carbs in already, some low GI coming through there from the oats.
Some brown sugar. I also love using coconut sugar. That works very, very well.
It's a nice alternative to normal sugar. I know it's not as processed, and there's a little bit of extra zinc in there, so some nutrition.
Yeah, it's got a little bit more nutrition.
Nice.
I've added some coconut, some cinnamon.
Cinnamon is, honestly, it's cinnamon. The warmth of winter when it comes to food for me. I don't know why, but I associate it with comfort, just like coziness. I don't know, it's got that feel.
I completely agree. I love cinnamon. I've added a little bit of baking powder, and then we've got some dried apple, which we've chopped up.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So could I, if I didn't have dried apple, get creative with this process? Maybe throw in one of my favorite dried fruits?
Yes, apricots would be amazing. Raisins, mango even. I mean, whatever you have, I think would really work. So you're going to combine those together, and then we're going to mix our wet ingredients.
Okay. So we've got the hero clover coming through once again, always featuring in some of our recipes, and I can see why, of course.
I love it.
So it's packed with nutrition, it's packed with all the value, and some good vitamins too, which is always essential when it comes to eating.
Okay, we're going to add some honey for a little bit of sweetness, and we've got our egg. And then I'm also going to add some grated apple.
Okay.
So a lot of freshness there. And if you're into your meal prepping, this is a great recipe, because you can make this on the weekend and just have it in the fridge or in the cupboard for lunch boxes, snack time. Really, really nice to have on hand.
Okay.
And you can freeze it as well.
All right.
So you can pop it in the freezer and just grab it whenever you're feeling a bit peckish.
I was going to ask you if I could help you, but it looks like you don't need help at all. This is too easy. This is definitely a one-man job. I don't even think the kids could come and help you in the kitchen, because there's nothing to do. It's that simple.
I love these kinds of recipes where it's dry ingredients, wet ingredients, easy. Yeah. So mix that all together. So
now you're just kind of mixing it all up together.
Yes. So you're going to mix it until it's combined, pop it into your baking dish, and bake it for half an hour. Then just very easy. And then just let it cool before you cut it into wedges, because you don't want it to all break apart.
And the ideal sort of consistencies now for me, I was going to say this looks like a crunchy, but it doesn't actually, because a crunchy's got more crunch in it.
More crispy,
this looks like it's got some live ingredients, and I'm seeing the texture being changed by those dry fruits, that cranberry that you got in there as well.
Yeah.
Again, I didn't even note the fact that cranberry is amazing, antioxidants, so good for so many reasons, a great immune booster as well.
And they're so delicious. They add that little pop of sweetness.
Yes. And like I'm saying now, I'm not noticing as much of the crunchiness. This is actually taking a bit of form.
Yeah.
So
it's quite chewy
really
and
cool.
soft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chewy, soft. We're hitting it up right now. We're doing some wedges. If you guys just tuned in, shame on you. But don't stress, of course. We've got this recipe inspiration coming at you. You can head over to theexpressoshow.com. We're making wedges. We're making them crunchy. We added cranberry and apple. And Teresa Oyate is almost done.
Can you smell that cinnamon and the apple? It smells amazing.
It smells good, it looks good, Teresa. While you're popping that in the oven, I'm going to be naughty because I have to taste this.
You have to.
So I'm going to head over to the other side.
Awesome.
I watched you earlier today. You were preparing something which smelled as good as this batch, so I know they're going to be the same. I don't need a knife and fork. I just need this plate. I need my mouth, and I need to say thank you to you for this.
Pleasure.
So easy, so simple.
Very, very
just
easy.
Like that.
Yeah. Great
for
the family.
Let's see if the proof is really in the pudding, or shall we say in the crunchy.
Thumbs up.
The best part about it, I'm coughing because there's so much going on. I got a bit of the crunchy, I got a bit of the banana, I got a bit of everything else coming in, and what a perfect balance. Mzansi, you definitely want to get this one on your register when it comes to planning your meals. Breakfast, lunch, supper, I'd have this any time of the day.
Anytime, yes, go for it.
Let us know, Mzansi, expressoshow.com for the recipe inspiration, and I'll see you later. Cheers. Nice.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it, your feel-good breakfast show. It is Expresso here on S3. We're live. It's a Tuesday morning. Thanks for joining us.
So, I must just tell you that in 2018, we met up with a gifted swimmer, horse rider, and animal lover, Michael Denton Swartz, who shared his inspiring story of hearing for the very, very first time. It was absolutely beautiful. And I mean, you fast forward to this year, 2021, and Michael is a successful sports massage therapist and engaged to the love of his life, Jordan Clark. Now, this morning, we catch up with Michael and his fiancée, Jordan, and his mother, as well as sister, Sandy and Cindy. Welcome, everybody, to the show.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry, should I say, is it welcome? Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Like this?
Welcome.
Welcome. There we go.
Sure. Well, let's start with you, Mum, Sandy. I mean, take us back to when you first realized that Michael couldn't hear. What was that experience like for you, and what did you have to go through as a family in that way?
It was very difficult for me to accept initially, and I think I was in denial, and we did everything possible to open every door for him to get his hearing. People said to me, accept him as he is. I said, yes, I do accept him as he is, but I would like him to be able to hear things that hearing people hear. Birds singing, your parents talking, and so forth. He had a cochlear implant when he was about 18 months old. It was not successful. He had another one when he was 18. That was also not successful. And later on, he saw Jenny Perald at Tygerberg Hospital, and with new technology, etc., she was able to get his cochlear implant working. So on the 30th of January, in 2018, I'd been with him all of his life through everything, and at that big moment I wasn't there. He was there with Jordan, and the first thing he heard was Jordan laughing.
Oh,
that is beautiful.
Wow.
Someone's cutting onions.
I love it. Yeah, I know you can see that.
Oh, my word.
I love it.
That's a beautiful story. I mean, Cindy, from your side, I mean, you were there from the start, and you assisted with regard to immediately when you realized that there was hearing impairment, you had to step in and you had to learn sign language on the fly. How was that for you?
You know, I was quite young, so I think I was actually I felt privileged to be able to help him. I felt, you know, when someone that you love or anyone is in pain or struggling with something, you want to be able to help, but you don't know how.
Yeah.
So I felt that I had my opportunity, and I was there at the beginning, all the beginnings. When Michael was born, I got up early that morning, and I went and sat at the hospital for like 12 hours, the whole day. I was in standard 5 then, grade 7. And Michael was born, I was there. I was one of the first to hold him. And then I was there at the beginning of his school career, and then helped him in his massage career.
And you obviously have had to translate along the way, all of these years throughout his life journey in that way. It's such a fantastic companionship. I love that.
So, would you like to add, Mom?
Yes, I think Cindy is shortfalling herself a little bit. When Michael started schooling, there was no schools in East London that could cater for him and his special needs. And Cindy gave up going to varsity to become a psychologist. And while all her friends went off to study, she went to school and she did grade 1, grade 2 and grade 3 with Michael at Abbotswood Christian School in East London. She interpreted for him until life moved on and he went to St. Vincent's School and Merrifield and so on. But she was the one that got his schooling started. And at the end of the day, she's got the Beauty Wagon, which is a beauty school in East London, and she started training him in massage therapy so that he would have a future and be able to become independent.
Cindy, an angel.
Worked out well.
I mean, come on, let's hear it.
She was.
Fantastic.
Wow. I'm taken aback. I really am on the story, but I think it's time for us to have a quick chat. So I just want to say welcome. You'll obviously, please, because I mean, we'd love to hear some sign language as well. But you know, just you know, your experience, making sure that you are able to, because I mean, you were hearing impaired from when you were quite small. So having that support around you, and people around you who helped you through, what does that mean to you?
So how do you feel because you were born deaf? And everyone supports you in the family. So how do you feel that you get lots of support? How does it make you feel?
I was encouraged. Every time I go to everybody for my support me all the big age of my life. So I got my first time. I'm ever put my life. I'm a poor stuff. I got my I can't help myself.
Yeah. So just to translate, he says he's very lucky to have a family like what we have here. And also, he doesn't feel sorry for himself. He had to build up his life. And fortunately, he had the support of a very loving family.
So my mom died. So she's my elbow for myself.
His parents taught him how to be strong, that inner strength.
I came from my mother and father.
They cried all the time.
Yeah, I can totally imagine that. But this is really such an inspiring story that you've been able to come here and share with us. And I think that the root of it all is the support that one can get at a family level, and that really does build the person up to be self-sufficient in that way and go out in public and express themselves in the most beautiful way. And this is a fantastic, fantastic, inspiring story. And human, thank you very much for that. And congratulations to Jordan and, of course, Michael on their engagement. We love that. We love that. Celebrate this with you. Go out there and learn all about hearing disabilities, because this is something we need to talk about.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love that.
I love that. Love is in the air. Oh, well, let's continue to inspire you this morning. And every Tuesday, we bring you Pharmacy of the Week, a short feature that acknowledges the brave and incredible people working on our front lines.
And this is our way to say thank you to these brave healthcare workers, proudly brought to you by Adcock Ingram, OTC, sponsors of Brave.
And this week, we're going to take a look at the Oak Clip Pharmacy in Roodepoort.
Our pharmacies are on the front line of healthcare. This is Pharmacy of the Week.
Since 1995, when Charles started with his pharmacy, I've been coming through here, and it is only a pleasure coming through here with anything that you need, any requirement you got, or any medicine. They're always the first to help you, and you would walk out here and you would know that you got the right medicine that you needed. All I can say is that it's a family pharmacy here, and anybody is always welcome coming here, and everybody walks out with a smile.
Pharmacy of the Week, proudly brought to you by Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave.
We thank all of you who are fighting on the front lines. We appreciate you. So stay tuned for the new season of Sponsors of Brave, the Gratitude Season. Love the sound of that. We are all very excited for that one.
That's right. And keeping things to our health chat and in line with us, we're about to chat to gynecologist and obstetrician Dr. Jason Bennett about postpartum menstrual cycles this International Menstrual Hygiene Month.
Having a baby is a major trauma for a woman's body, and it really takes time to recover, believe it or not. Now, there's no such thing as a standard postpartum period, but it is common for the first few periods to be quite different. And joining us this morning to answer all of our burning questions on postpartum menstrual cycles is gynecologist and obstetrician Dr. Jason Bennett, the good doctor. He's with us again. Hello, doctor.
Hi, thanks for having me again.
So good to have you with us. Very important topic. I remember 2 years ago, believe it or not, when I had my little one, the first time after getting my period again, I was even like, it was strange to get it again. I was like, what is this? Why is my body doing this? Obviously, it's going back to normal. But for women who don't know, how long after having a baby will your first period come?
No, you're very right. People get very scared about their first period, and they're not sure when it's going to come, if it's going to come, and if there's something wrong. But most of the time, if you're not breastfeeding, your period will come back in about 6 to 8 weeks. If you are breastfeeding, it'll be a little bit longer. If you're exclusively breastfeeding, it's unlikely that your period will come back until you stop breastfeeding.
What is the link between that two? Because you're saying, so if I was breastfeeding, it would take longer for it to come back. Does that, the first period or the period, affect the breast milk supply in any way?
No, totally. So there is a link. When you are breastfeeding, you produce this hormone in your brain called prolactin. And what prolactin does is it tells your breasts to make more breast milk for your baby, but at the same time, it also shuts down your reproduction system. Okay, so you stop ovulating and you will stop having a period because of this prolactin.
Oh, interesting. I never knew that because I didn't breastfeed. But what can women expect with their first period? As dreadful as it is, your body has to go back to normal. What can they expect?
So you're right. Your body does have to go back to normal. You've kind of had a 9 month break, so things will take a bit of time to get back to normal. Your first period won't be as you had before. You may notice there's a little bit more bleeding, and the flow may be a bit different. So you may get a little bit of bleeding that starts, and then it stops, then it comes again, so it's slightly frustrating. You may have a little bit more cramping, okay, and you may have a bit of an irregular cycle for quite a while.
Is there any red flags or symptoms that we should look out for when we get that first period?
So initially, after having a baby, be it by a normal birth or a Caesar, you will bleed for a little bit straight away, and that normally lasts a few days. After that, you start producing something called lochia, which is kind of a milky, clearish, reddish discharge, okay? And your first period will be quite bright red, and that's how you notice that you are having your first period.
And then what should we do if we notice anything irregular with regards to that period?
Yeah, so things to watch out for. If you are soaking pads, if you're bleeding for more than 7 days, if you're having severe lower abdominal pain, or if you start developing an offensive or bad-smelling discharge coming out, if you start having fevers, it's something to go and chat to your doctor about.
Well, answering all of our burning questions, Dr. Jason, it's always so good to have you with us to weigh in on this conversation with regards to that first period after having a baby. So thank you so much.
Cool. Pleasure.
And of course, for you at home, after not experiencing a period for many months during pregnancy and breastfeeding, the backaches and the pains postpartum don't need to be unbearable. Brufen helps aid period pain as well as inflammation, making easing back into the swing of things a lot smoother.
Targets pain caused by menstrual cramps. Brufen works where it hurts.
Only you can make my
Okay, normally this is Stacey, our starters. Is everyone ready? Okay. I don't think we're ready because Stacey Francis, superstar, is here to join us for our Tuesday karaoke. This is a very special recording because I don't know how I feel about having to sing beside you, but I'm going to give it a good go, girl.
Okay, well, let's have fun.
Yeah.
You should feel fine.
Are you
it's gonna be
ever
fun.
allowed to do karaoke with your
I'm
friends?
going to be honest with you. I'm really never allowed to. I have one friend in America. Shout out to Carrie Kasem, who lets me. She does the karaoke, and she says, "Stacey, come sing," and she allows me to sing.
And can she
really,
sing?
really, she's a great singer. Yeah.
Oh, see, that's why.
That's probably why.
That's
right?
why she
Oh, that's
doesn't
true.
know.
That's true. That's a good
That's why she
point.
doesn't
That's
know.
true.
I would never invite
That's a
you.
good
I would
point.
never,
That's a good point. That's a good point. I didn't even think about that before, but that's a good point.
Well, we'll find out. We'll get to know after this performance here if you're the type of person to actually take with to karaoke or not. Okay,
No,
especially if it's competitive.
I'll give you your moments.
Yeah, no, I
won't
think
sing
in
over
a
the
group
host.
number,
Like
I
the
think we are
breathing
glad
moments.
to have you here.
Yeah.
You're going to sing. If she doesn't sing, you call her because she has.
I'm going to sing. I'm going to sing. Mic is on, everybody.
The bass, eh?
We got
the bass.
We got it. This is how we do.
We got this.
The song has absolutely no bass in it, but it's an absolute
throw it in.
standard.
And we're singing it for moms.
We are
Yeah,
for the
strong
mums.
women out there, our moms, our
For the
mother
moms.
figures.
Okay, it's I'm Every Woman. Take it away, Mr. DJ.
I'm every woman, it's all in me. Anything you want, baby, I'll do it naturally.
Nice, guys, nice.
I'm every woman, it's all in me. I can read your thoughts right now. Everyone from A to Z.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I can cast a spell that's you can tell. It's a special rule. Put the fire inside of you.
Sing it, girl.
And if anything you feel, then you'll appear. Then easily I will appear. I'm every woman. It's all in me. And if you want some, baby, I'll do it naturally. Oh, 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 oh.
Take us there. I can set your needs like rain unto the seas. I can make a rhyme, no confusion in your mind. And when it comes down to some good old-fashioned love, that's when I got it. I got it. I got it. Got it. Got it.
I'm every woman. It's all in me. And if you want some, baby, I'll do it naturally. I'm every woman. It's all in me. I can read your thoughts right now. Everyone of everything. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I got you.
Jenny, I'm
Cause I'm the one.
Jenny.
Cause I'm the one. Oh, it shall be done.
Yes, that's
Oh, and it shall be done. To compare, I got it.
I'm every woman. It's all in me. I'm every woman. Yeah, right. I'm every woman. 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 Like a baby. I'm every woman. I'm every woman. Sugar come. I'm every woman. Sugar come. Sugar come. My
That was amazing, you guys. Stacey Francis, thank you so much. You saved us.
That was so fun. That was so fun.
You have to come every Tuesday now, hey?
Okay, I would love it.
We'll
I
fly
would love
you
it.
from Miami.
Here's the big question. Would you invite us to a karaoke night with you?
Absolutely, I would.
Oh,
yes!
Oh, you're
It's so much fun. Come on, who wouldn't want to hang out with you guys every single night?
man.
Come on, let's party.
That made my day. You can let us know how you felt about that on our social media
I need to sit
pages.
down. Sorry, I'm just catching my breath.
Oh, you're an absolute sweetheart. Thank you for
I know, my
This
friend.
guy.
Whoa, shaka
So you can come in here. That was absolutely wonderful. I think it was a bit unfair with Stacey Francis, but thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow. Have a beautiful morning. Bye-bye.
Shaka Khan.
Here's to one last slice of summer and our first taste of autumn. Made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.